Welcome everyone to TPK Roleplay. I am your GM this morning, Corndogg. Sorry, my roommate just turned on the hose and it's right there. Woo! Corndogg McGraw, here to facilitate a wonderful heist experience for the TPK Coven. And we are going to be using the Score RPG system by Gila RPGs. Not Gila, but Gila RPGs. Wonderful. All right, so I'm gonna stop talking for a second because I want our players to introduce themselves. As you guys go through, we're gonna introduce ourselves, introduce our character by their character name, and what playbook you'll be playing out of today. So we will start going around the clock. We are going to start with Michelle after me. So it goes Michelle, Heck, Nikki, Pati in overlay order.
All right. I'm Michelle. I'm playing Larkspur, who is the tech.
Hey guys. Hey guys, it's me, Sir Heckalot. I'm going to be playing Spade, the Specter playbook. Moving it on over to Nikki.
I'm Nikki. I will be playing Allison, also on the Specter playbook.
And I'm Pati, and I'll be the hammer. Stiletto, T-bone. Call me T-bone.
All right, we have a crew assembled. As you arrive to set the scene, you all arrive at your favorite hideout, the Speakeasy. I'm gonna go to Michelle. Michelle, what's the name of this Speakeasy that is the hideout that all these criminal contacts meet up for whether it's brunch, dinner, just to get information? What's the name of our Speakeasy for today?
The Raven's Wing.
The Raven's Wing. We are at the Raven's Wing, and we are going to begin our heist. As you arrive at the Raven's Wing, you all set yourself up at the bar when the bartender, who is not in fact a bartender at all, but none other than the Grand Motherboard. Grandpa was the last facilitator of things. So now we are at the Grand Motherboard, pops down from behind the bar and introduces what will be your campaign for the day. So to start off, we must generate our heist. Heck, I'm gonna have you roll 2d6 for me.
Okay.
As you do, just give me those numbers and we will figure out where our heist is going.
All right, we're gonna use this pretty little D6 here first. That's a 4.
All right, so since it's a 4, this will either be a jewelry store robbery, bank robbery, or art theft. Give me another.
We're so close. Come on. Oh my God. Okay, 5 or 6. Come on, we want art theft. Sorry. We're gonna use this one. That's another 4.
All right, we are going to be committing a bank robbery this morning. Now, to determine the level of security, Nikki, if you could roll me a d6.
I got a 3.
A 3. At this bank, it'll just generate on the screen. It is noted that there is standard cop/security presence. Armed, might even have a vest on, have dealt with criminals before, and will do their job to stop them. All right, for our additional details, Pati, could you roll an additional d6?
I got a 4. Today's a day of 4.
Today is the day of 4. 4 criminals, for a heist. It is a public space, 2 stories high. There is a standard amount of civilian presence, so as you would expect to see. And the alarm system, you'll note that there are more layers than usual. All right. Let's heist. So, as this information generates on the screen in front of you, you've all worked together before on previous heists. So you're familiar with each other's masks, but our audience at home is not familiar with what your mask looks like. So when you are out heisting, we're going to go around the helm one more time, and you're going to tell us what your mask looks like. And we're going to start with Michelle again.
All right. So Larkspur's mask is sort of like this wrapped cloth piece. So it's like a bit of a tightly wrapped black cloth with sort of almost a bird-like masquerade mask on top of it. And on the cloth, there's a bit of like some kind of flower patterns. You might actually recognize her namesake, Larkspur's, on it.
Ooh, nice. All right.
That's cool.
Continuing around, we go to Hick.
Go to me. The typical Specter mask is a skull, and her Spade's kind of flavor on it is more of the kind of like this kind of skull, like the candy sugar skull, and just like various colors and filigrees on it. It's kind of everywhere. But yeah, moving it on over to Nikki.
So Allison has one of those super realistic masks on, and it is an Oprah mask. So she's got an Oprah mask on.
This is very good.
T-Bone really wanted us to have the super realistic mask, but we were each an individual Spice Girl. It was vetoed. So instead, I want you to imagine just real smooth, eerily smooth, gold, not real, mask. If you have ever done like a paper Korean mask, they have like a little icon in the center where it just looks like creepy baby smooth. There you go.
Excellent. We have our masks. Grandmother board sends you your objective, which is, what are you going to be focusing while you're at the bank? You're going to try to empty everything in the vault. And safety first. Make a mess of the bank so that they aren't only robbed, but no one would want to return to this bank anytime soon. So not only are you going in, taking that money, you are going to make it a place where no one wants to return. Grandmother board, while a computer, seems to have a vendetta against this bank and has selected you four to carry out this heist. And then I'm going to have Michelle roll us one more d6 for a sub goal for the day.
A 1.
A 1. It's good that you rolled this, because it probably makes most sense for your character to sort this out. Not even a digital trace. Get your hands on security footage or wipe it out completely. So, that is kind of a side objective, a sub goal, if you will. Big goal of the day, take everything. Second goal, make sure you make this place seem kind of spooky, kind of unsafe. Don't want to come back. Last goal, don't let anyone know it was you. All right, so let's drive. What does our getaway car look like? Nikki.
It is one of those like one of those old big cars from like the 60s, and it's painted. I want to go with it's like painted like a dark purple with gold trim on it, and it's like really big and bulky, and it has a horn that plays a song.
Yes. What song does it play?
What song does it play? Heck will tell us what song it plays.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why, but as soon as you said 60s, for some reason the first song that came into my head was Splish Splash, if you know that song. So,
The Splish Splash, I was taking a bath? Okay.
So sure, we'll do that. Let's clap we were doing the bop.
Here we go. The real question is, do you honk immediately as you leave the speakeasy, or is that saved for startling civilians?
I think that's saved.
Good, good. All right, everyone. Someone remember that that's the car horn sound. We'll see if we can find a sound similar to it later. All right, so we venture out. The bank that you are heisting is not too far from this speakeasy that no one else knows about aside from the criminal underbelly of the town that we are in. It takes probably about 10 minutes to drive and get there. Are you picking up anything on your way? Is there anything you're grabbing from the speakeasy before you go? Anything to kind of help you outside of your starting gear that you would want to have with you for a bank robbery? I will allow each of you to kind of pick one helpful item. Thank you, Chrissy, in chat, for something that you could bring along with you on this excursion.
Is this something past our typical gear, or are we taking this from...
So you'll have your starting gear, and this will be something in addition to it.
Okay.
For instance, there was a building harpoon in the last Score RPG. A building harpoon is actually... now I can't remember what it's called, because I was laughing too hard, and now I can only... Grappling hook, there we go.
Oh.
As a source of inspiration. So, let's go around the opposite way. Let's start with Pati, and then we'll go to Nikki, Heck, Michelle.
I'm taking from the speakeasy 2 bottles of champagne. I'm just gonna tuck it in some holsters. I'm ready to
Champagne
celebrate.
holsters. Yeah. All right, Nikki, what are you grabbing from the speakeasy?
I am grabbing a giant bag to put money in.
Heck yeah.
Like, way comically big for me to carry.
Oh, we're coming. Oh, this is gonna be great. But yeah, that's very practical. The thing that I thought of was just a set of a couple of bugs just to leave around the bank and monitor what's going on if I'm not in a room.
All right.
I like to think that they're like they look like the actual shape of different bugs, like beetles and stuff.
Yep.
Spider.
Yeah, like the local critters that you would see in like a spooky cabin shower or something like that. Where you're like, oh no.
Well, so Larkspur is just gonna pull open her cargo pants and just try to stuff those pockets with like various like toolbox tools, like an Allen wrench, screwdriver, right? Those kinds of like just like mechanical. I need a star Allen wrench. Where's the tip? Why do I not have a star Allen wrench? Where's the electrical tape?
The loaded pockets. It's important to have someone with cargo pants in a heist. I've seen it in basically every film. You gotta have the pockets. On your way, Motherboard sends you a text message alert and says, "Oh, by the way, the bank was built in 1892, which means their blueprints are public access. Please stop at the library on your way." And as you go to the library, you're able to pick up the blueprints. In particular, Larkspur, they're able to give you a CD-ROM with the blueprints on it. Fortunately for you, in one of your pockets, you do happen to pull out a CD-ROM connector device for your computer that you've brought with. And upon it, you're able to find just some 2D prints of what the bank looks like, kind of their different rooms throughout. It's 2 stories. There's the ground level, and then the second story is actually beneath it. So the ground level is the upper floor. Below it is going to be where the safe and vault is. And now you kind of have some general aspects as to how this building was built. And you're able to kind of start sorting out just how you want to access this bank. All right. So you pull up outside of the bank in your boat of a car. Your face is not with you today. They had a sick note and unfortunately are not able to help you with this first part of the heist that they normally do. So, how does this team enter the bank?
I want it known. T-Bone wanted to go guns a-blazing right through the front. Really scare the people. Again, it was vetoed.
I mean, the face isn't here now. This is the team trying to recover what one person would normally do. You've got 2 Specters, you've got a tech, and you've got a hammer.
We could just go in and well, not guns blazing, because we want to get rid of the security unless you can take care of them yourself.
I guess it depends on how much security do we see in the lobby.
Are you currently in the car still, or have you kind of like approached the building and are scoping it from the outside?
I'm scoping.
From what you can see on the outside, you do see a security guard by the door, as well as a police officer. They're just kind of talking to one another. It's a really boring Monday morning at the bank.
Are there a lot of customers inside?
There are a few, but it's kind of just people walking in and out. Very, very casual day. About what you'd anticipate to see on a Monday morning. I was going to say Sunday morning because it's Sunday, but then I remember banks are closed on Sundays. So here we are on Monday. It's a very standard Monday morning. No one is really like, there's not a big deal happening. You don't see anyone with like outside the tellers just sitting there trying to inquire about a loan. It's just people coming in, depositing money, and people leaving.
Honestly, you could just get them to run off if somebody screams that they lost something.
I have explosives.
There's like 2 cops.
We can set up an explosive down the block, redirect attention.
Go on. I like this.
Could I, and like Larkspur's a little nervous here, maybe attempt to set off the fire alarm?
That's a great idea.
I like this too. This is also very good.
In the back, you just see T-Bone
fire.
deploy.
There any fire versus fire alarm? I mean, are there any like external fire alarms? I feel like they would all be in the building, but
Might clear people out, maybe?
Could you are you gonna use your magic skills to do it from outside? Can you do that?
Depends on if they're hooked up to the internet or not.
I don't know.
Let's make a roll for it. All right, our first roll of the day is going to be determine if our hacker can hack the fire alarms from outside, or if they are in fact just the simple pull down fire alarms. So I'm going to have you roll. You will roll your cool dice in like one set of dice, your heat in another set. As the tech, I think that's 1 and 1 to start with.
Yep.
And then you can choose to add a prep to this. I am going to say that because of the fact that you have the blueprints, that's going to kind of lower the difficulty of this. But you are going to want to beat a 3 just to determine if you can hack this from the outside. Not to pull it from the outside, but just to determine if you can hack it. So you want your heat to be a 3 or high, or 3 or 2 or 1. Sorry, there we go. Heat to be 2 or 1 for a success there. You want your cool to be 3 or higher. So meets it, beats it in that instance.
Okay.
And you do have advantage, by the way, from chat.
Okay. Not sure how that works, but we'll roll.
So essentially what that'll mean is you could add an additional cool to it. So you could add another cool die to give you another opportunity for success, is how we're going to treat advantage for this experience.
Got it. We roll. That's 1. I guess we'll roll like I drop my die.
We're going to use that advantage.
But it's a 5. Okay. I'm gonna. And heat. Please be like a 1 or 2, please.
No, you want it to be above a 2.
Oh, it's a 4.
Perfect. Great. So, no one's on to you as you start hacking into their Wi-Fi, which does not have a password. Oh, this foolish bank. What were they doing not having security within their Wi-Fi? So you hack into that. There are, as you're kind of looking through what they have present, there isn't a fire alarm trigger in the mainframe. You do find a way to turn off fire alarms, though, from there. It looks like there is going to be physical locations, though, for fire alarms. So it shows you kind of where the fire alarms are within the bank, especially since you have the blueprints to compare it to. So it's easy to find out where that first fire alarm would be. There's one basically directly inside the door to the left. However, the computer system shows you where that fire alarm was pulled. So it kind of shows which one was triggered in the building. So you kind of have some insight there that you're able to relay to the group if you were to pull the fire alarm.
Okay. Well, all right. This is much more in my element. We can see. Well, it doesn't look like I can turn off the alarm from here, or trigger the alarm, but I can turn off any alarms if you like it. There is one physical one right inside the door to the left, but I don't know if I should be. You can see which alarm is pulled though from the system, which is a bit of a problem. I think I might be able to erase that data though, if necessary. Maybe.
There's no trace if I set a fire.
All right, so that's gonna be the explosives later, I guess. Yeah, if you can point me directly to it. Hate to kind of use a trump card at the very beginning, but I do have a way just to declare exactly where I want to be, and I'll be there. I just have to explain how I got there.
Can you read out that move for us?
Yeah, the move is Houdini. Once per session, you can declare exactly where you want to be. You were there. Explain how you got there.
Could we just walk in and pretend to be customers? I mean, we are being customers.
I mean, that would put more of the burden on you to erase our faces afterwards. I doubt they're gonna let us in there with masks.
Well, I'm Oprah. I can go anywhere.
That's true. That's true.
Send in Oprah.
I mean, as long as you're comfortable with that, Oprah, I think that is very true.
Yeah, I just don't know how Oprah would act, but I can pretend.
I love this greatly. This is very good.
I just walk in like, I'm Oprah, give me money.
Hold fire alarm.
As Oprah,
Okay.
are you asking for money or are you giving money? Are you
don't
giving?
know.
Are you giving out your favorite things? Or is this
Is
what
that?
kind of Oprah episode are you going to walk into?
I don't know. I mean, Oprah's going into a thing. I'm going to pull the fire alarm, right?
Mhm.
So am I going to act like I want money? No, well, Oprah already has all the money.
Wait. Could some of us follow in as a camera crew?
Yes. Did
I
I?
mean, so long as you got the cams, yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. Once we're in there, I can, cause confusion with that communications jammer, so police can't talk to each other. But the problem is, yeah, we just have to get in there first. But yeah, I like the camera crew idea.
Well, can't we just use our phones
Well,
as cameras?
need a bit more of a fancy, and at this point Larkspur is gonna go dive into the back of the van and like just start tossing things out until they can see if they can't find like a fancy like actual like video, like heavy bulky video cam.
This is very good.
Is where did I put it? It starts pulling out like various shelves and is like, okay, these are too many. No, these are files. Does anybody remember where I put the camera?
Well, Oprah would just give
Isn't
you.
it like that large camera on the shelf, like the top shelf of the van there? I don't know.
How?
I don't know. That kind of looks like it.
But-
I don't know how it got there. We're all kind of short.
I'm too, and like Larkspur is like kind of is also very short and just kind of like trying to like reach onto the shelf and is just hanging off the shelf trying to get the camera. It's just like, I can.
I
Tigo,
like to
can you-
imagine that this is like kind of like a Magic School Bus experience where like the outside of the car, like you don't think that this is a super tall car because it's more that the car is long and bulky and has like this big presence on the road. But once you go inside, it's just like one of the tents during the Goblet of Fire
Oh my
scene
God.
early on where you go inside and it's like
We have a pocket dimension.
We
this
modded
is
it,
a pocket
okay?
dimension.
We modded the car just to
Mhm.
fit our needs. It just
I'm
happens
gonna
to be
just
purple.
start pushing Larkspur up.
Larkspur finally like grabs hold of the camera, just like, whoa, okay, a little help down, please.
Just
Just collapses the camera on top of her.
Must protect.
Okay, so we have an in.
At least camera guys don't need to talk much.
are you gonna be the camera guy?
Does anybody else know how to operate a camera?
Probably not.
Okay. I guess I'll do it.
I'll go in as Oprah's security.
Okay, yeah, I can just be an agent and just like be pretending to like be very busy on a call, talking on my phone. I'm her agent, actually. Excuse me. Okay. I
How
like
dare
this.
you talk to Oprah without talking to me first?
Yeah. All right. I like it.
we have our story. And as you all leave this clown car of an experience, you start to step out one by one, and across the street someone goes, is that Oprah? And you like hear them whisper to their friend, and you see like two people kind of staring and watching as your crew approaches the front doors of this bank. As you walk inside, sure enough, there is a fire alarm off to the left. It's got a nice little flashy light above it, but it's just your traditional like red handle pull down, if you remember from like any public institution you've ever been a part of. And inside the bank, the cop and security guard that are standing at the front door are like, oh my gosh, is that Oprah? Is that Oprah? and they start whispering to themselves and or just Cop vibrantly greets you with, "Oh, good morning."
A strong arm him. You need to stay back, sir.
All right.
I'm just going like,
Yeah, just keep on walking. We're just ushering Oprah.
I'm just doing like this, like I'm just walking to the bank. I'm not going to say it, but I'm like, no cameras, even though I have a crew with me.
For the rest of the crew, are you wearing your masks as you walk inside? Or are you just keeping your faces as is?
I've got shades on. I gotta look like a security person.
New costume, who dis?
Yeah, I like to imagine. Spade would also have shades on, but like a really like bougie, like pointed kind. Like I don't know, just look like a very busy agent, just talking on their phone.
Oh, are we all wearing like face?
You realize how much legal trouble I can get you in for this? Just fix it. Phone. It's a flip phone, by the way.
Yes. Click.
Larkspur has like put on like this like really comfortable like trashy looking hoodie with like big like thick lens nerdy glasses, so like you can't actually see her eyes, and just like
good
hood
facial
up.
distortion.
Yeah, and just hood up and is like camera carrying this giant camera bag.
It's Oprah that has the comically large bag. That's right.
That's my purse. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Comically large purse.
This is very good.
All right. So, seeing Oprah within the bank, the assistant manager comes up to you with just a big grand plaster to her face. Hello. Welcome to First National Bank of the town. Is there anything I could... can I help you?
Since I don't actually sound like Oprah.
Oh. You don't talk directly to Oprah.
Who should I talk to?
I'm actually Oprah's agent. Excuse me?
I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can help you with today?
Well, I think we were actually looking to deposit here. Oprah was very interested in your bank. We've heard great things.
A deposit from Yes, right away. Let me take you over here, and she'll pull you to. So there's the regular tellers who are all staring at you and like leaning back in their chairs to like whisper to the next teller down. They do have what appears to be glass panels in front of their booths. Maybe because there's a pandemic or something like that happening, or for security purposes. You're not really sure when these panels went up. But she pulls you off to the side where there's a nice desk. There's only 2 chairs to sit down, though, because typically there's not a whole crew that walks in with someone. And she sits behind the desk and is, what type of account are you looking to build today? A checking account?
Assistant manager, do you have a private room for security reasons?
I don't. But when our manager comes in at 10, we will have that option. Unfortunately, it's only 9:42, so they'll be here shortly, though, and I've already let them know that Oprah's here.
You should let them know to quicken that. It's Oprah.
Yeah, I'm like looking at my watch.
She starts like nervously typing on her computer. You hear like pings going around. Sounds like it might be a group chat or something like that. kind of like that lovely Microsoft Teams bell goes off as someone does not have their computer muted. And you get the impression that Oprah being here is a really big deal, and everyone in the building is now aware of Oprah's presence. I am going to have Oprah, since you are not actively engaging with this group, and because of your Specter nature, you're probably taking in kind of the scenery, what's going on around you, trying to figure out escape routes, things of that nature, part of your crime history. I want you to... I'm gonna have you roll to see if you can determine what direction you would need to go to for either a way out or a way in. So which would you prefer to look? Would you want to see a way further into the bank or an additional way out aside from the front door?
A way further in, because we're trying to rob the place.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. And I don't know how she would communicate to, well, I guess she could text, but just like to try to get the lady away from out of the room.
Okay. So looking for a way to get her out.
Yeah. And I think she'll get her phone out and text that. Like, we need to get this person out of here.
Okay. Spade will get the text on her little flip phone. Like, she's already like starting to like pretend that she's taking a call. Anyway, again, like this is taking so long. They don't even have a private room. She's about to start complaining on the phone. See that text and just text back really fast. I'll cause some chaos and we'll actually set off that communications jammer to make communication between everyone in this building much harder and much more to complain about, and hopefully they'll try to like reset the router or something.
And what do I need to roll? What do I need to roll?
I'm going to have you roll. We'll add an additional, or we'll do the cool plus heat. Because you are a Specter, we're going to kind of lower that, what would normally be a pretty challenging roll to find a way in. Just because of the Specter nature, we're going to have it be a 3 again. So for your cool, you want to roll 3 or higher. For your heat die, you want to roll a 2, or no, you want to roll above a 3 or higher. So you want to have all those dice be 3 or higher.
Okay, and I just roll 1 dice?
I believe Specters
are
just
late. Don't want to roll.
Oh, no worries. So Specters start, you'll start with 1.
Okay.
And so it'll be 1 and 1.
Okay, so 2 dice. I got
You mean a
5 and a 2.
You mean a Twinkie?
Oh.
You mean a Twinkie?
Yes, we do
You
mean
a
that.
Twinkie?
Yes.
Do you know, can you tell me if it was, did you get the 5 for the cool and the 2 for the heat, or was it the, either way, there is going to be some consequence to this, so I'm excited about that. Either one way is you just don't find that success while trying to sort for the entrance, otherwise there may be some heat added to this.
Okay.
You may be muted right now, Nikki.
I was muted. I got the 5 for the heat and a 2 for the cool.
Okay.
Which we are still sitting on a like +1.
Oh yeah, there is a +1 to cools that you could
if we want to
pull from
use
right
that now.
Yes, please.
Yes. All right. So at first it's kind of hard because you hear some kids coming in with their family, coming into the bank as they're like, I want a lollipop, I want a Twinkie. And you just hear kids asking their parents for things as their parents are just going in to make a deposit and then depart, which distracts you at first, only for you then to like be able to look beyond them. And you see the employees only sign on the door, and you have a pretty good idea that behind the tellers, that employees only sign is going to lead you in the direction you would want to go to get further into the bank.
Whew. Okay.
Heck, what is the chaos that you are attempting?
The chaos that she did was turning on the communications jammer, so like people couldn't continue calling or communicating the fact that Oprah was here, and just probably slow down things for the assistant manager that's in front of us trying to get this done. So just be like, excuse me, like, why is this taking so long? Like, Oprah is obviously very busy, has a lot to do today, and you all don't seem to have your shit together.
I'm so sorry. Let me go see if I can. I have no service right now. I'm gonna just go see if I can flag him down the minute he gets into the parking lot. I'll be right back. And she just books it out the front door and like briefly talks with the police officer on her way out, as well as the security. Just talking real quick before leaving, before stepping out of the bank that she is currently supposed to be supervising. You're currently standing next to this big fancy desk that's out in the open area of this bank. If you imagine, most of the front area is completely open. There's the area with the tellers. There's some desks off to the side where you could have quiet conversations. Nothing is actually private aside from a thick oak door off to the right. If the employee entrance are the employee's only doors off to the left, there is another thick door off to the right. And you can see a little gold nameplate that just says manager on that door. No lights are on in the room behind it, though.
Okay.
I can talk to the security and the police officer up front to see what the rest of the security situation is and maybe get a little tour. I don't know if anyone
I
would
like
to
this.
join
Yeah,
me.
there's enough of a distraction. I can probably get in.
Just don't blow them up. Not yet, anyway.
Me?
Not yet. Oh my God.
No.
Okay. Well,
All right, so we're gonna have security guard to security guard have some one-on-one. How do you approach this security guard? How do you begin this conversation?
Hey, bud. What's the deal here? I want to make sure my friend here is safe.
Well, I assure you I'm a very competent security guard, and you see like the cop that's right next to him just kind of be like, serving a look, as it were. And the security guard is like, yeah, it's a safest place as you can get.
Okay. You have cops here helping you often?
Well, yeah. It's part of our contract with the city.
Okay. How much, do you mind giving me like a little tour of this place? We might be doing some location scouting, and I want to make sure we have our bases covered before we make any deals.
Oh, well, typically the assistant manager or the manager gives tours, but, and you see him just kind of lean back, glance outside, where you can, if you quickly peek out the door, you see the assistant manager just pacing, waiting by the manager parking spot, just like freaking out because Oprah's inside. And he just gives you a once over. Yeah, I'll show you what I got. This is a security guard who thinks they run the place, is what you're garnering from this. And from the police officer's expression next to him, they need a little help here.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
But he'll walk you in and be like, this is our fire system. As you can see, we've got an alarm here in case you need to run out of the building and pull it. We've also got sprinklers up there in case the heat gets to be too much. Over here, we have our tellers. And everything he's telling as he shows you around is stuff that you can see clearly. And he's just kind of, you get the impression that he's starting to waste your time a little bit as he continues to go on and on about like when the bank was built, how they moved in the desks that are currently in the fancier area for where people get loans and things like that. That way back there is way to the employees lounge, as well as to the other parts of the building. Over there is the manager's office.
Other parts of the building. Other parts of the building.
Well, I mean, you don't necessarily just keep the cash under the teller's desk. It's got to go somewhere.
I'm gonna need to see the security in the other parts of the building.
Well,
You think we just let Oprah in any building?
this is all fair, but it's not in our protocol to just show people around. But maybe for Oprah, I help you, you help me.
What is it you need help with?
I think it would just be really cool if my spouse got to be a part of the, Oprah's Favorite Things days or something like that, or...
Buddy, easy peasy.
All right, let me show you around. And he shows you the general manager's office of this building. Very boring. It is run-of-the-mill, very masculine energy at a bank. Thick, dark, stained oak wood desk. Really fancy bookshelves. All very boring. There is a computer at his desk as well, or at their desk. Sorry, we do not know who they are yet. There's a computer at their desk. Big fancy leather chair that's someone sits in for hours upon hours each day. You can see that's nice and well worn.
I'm gonna ask him, you ever sit in that chair when he's not around? When they're not around?
Oh, I sit in all the chairs.
Yes, you do.
And he continues to show you around. You walk behind the tellers, and he points, bulletproof glass. We had it installed. Also protects against pandemic juice. Tellers do keep some cash on hand, but for the most part, it all goes down these tubes into the lower area where we keep all our money real safe. We keep it real safe here. And then he'll bring you around. He pushes open the double doors, and you instantly get the smell of burnt popcorn. Damn it, Janice. Sorry. Maybe, I don't know if we want to bring Oprah back here. It's real bad.
Is this the only way back? Do you have a cleaner hallway?
This is the only hallway back. I mean, there's another way in, but this is the only way back from the main floor. And you walk past, and there's a little bit of, you see that the employees, what you assume is kind of their lunchroom, the door is shut. It's a little smoky in there. You just see someone fanning where the fire extinguisher is, trying to make sure nothing sets anything off. As you start to walk down, he does bring you downstairs. There is no elevator. It is just a set of stairs that go down, but you do see a back door as he brings you downstairs. Let's check in with our friends up at the top real quick, unless there's something that you immediately want to do as he brings you to the stairs.
No, I want to say I'm trying to do like a text to or talk to text. So what he's saying is trying to get back, but I imagine maybe the communication jammers might have something to do with that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword.
Okay.
All right, so Oprah, camera person, agent. You see your security guard being walked around and then go behind some double doors into the employees only area, generally getting the idea that, they're probably trying to sort out how to go or where to go within this space. While you're up here, is there anything that you want to do as you wait for the general manager?
So there's no security now.
There's the cop at the front door who seems to be looking out front, looking inside, looking out front, kind of watching for the manager to arrive.
Would we have smelled that burnt popcorn?
There's a good chance that as the doors like swung shut, that there was a little bit of like, oh no, smell of ick. It's a very potent smell.
Okay.
Could
It's like one of us managed to get over to one of the fire alarms and set it off now that there's kind of a plausible reason that it might go off. I don't know, I'm kind of one of the sneaky ones. So like I can do it if there's enough cover, if there's enough chaos happening here with eyes on Oprah. I
Well,
can try to sneak on over, I don't know.
guess Larkspur is gonna start like setting up like a tripod cam, right? Just like casually just starts like pulling out and just like yells out in the room, "No video unless you want a suit from our goddamn lawyers. No video, no pictures," and just immediately just starts setting up like the camera to like, and then angles it really nicely, goes like stops. This lighting doesn't look very good, and like just like kind of sidles their way so that they're facing the assistant manager's screen.
Yes.
Okay, Oprah Oprah is standing there like I don't know, she has a mirror like she's doing her makeup. But very bigly, the bag she's taking up a lot of space. Kind of helping with the concealing.
Goes to drop your bag only for your agent to instantly catch it before it actually hits the ground, and just very grandiose, putting on makeup, checking the lighting.
Yeah.
Looking around to make sure everything's up to snuff for Oprah, but really looking for anything your criminal mind could want to find.
Oh, sorry. Just wanted to say, if Lark can do so well, like messing around with the camera, they're going to hit the Control Alt, try to hit the Control Alt Delete button on the computer to lock the screen.
Yeah, let's roll for that. There have been some more donations of +1 heat in chat. Or +1 cool, sorry, not heat. Not yet, at least. No one's been that mean to you yet. But what I'll have you roll is to see if you can get away with doing this after you had just yelled at everyone for no cameras, no nothing, kind of drawing some attention to yourself, taking that pause for a moment, and then seeing if you can get into this computer. Are you looking to just shut down the computer, or?
Control Alt Delete just like puts the lock. Well, believe for most computers will put the lock screen on. I don't remember actually. It's been a while. It depends on how old the computer is.
Yeah, you would know how to turn on a lock screen. So because you're heckin' proficient with it, that helps. That helps this situation. However, there are some people definitely still looking like, what are they doing? What are they setting up? So there is a little bit of eyes on you. So we're going to make this just a little bit more challenging. And we're going to make it a 4 as opposed to a 3 for a DC that you would need to meet or beat. And then if your heat die that you roll is a 3, 2, or 1, then we're gonna add some heat to the situation.
We do have a +1 cool from chat again from Bleep Blap Bloop, whatever that means.
Okay.
Bleep, blop, bloop.
Boop. That's a 6. Okay. And 4! Oh my god.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, this is easy enough for you to do. With that 6, not only do you Control Alt Delete or whatever it is that we do for lock screens now, friends, you're able to kind of get an idea of what this person's setup is like, and you can tell that this the assistant manager is not a computer. Like, it's not a really fancy computer area or array. It's an older PC, and you're just kind of able to take in what this area is so far as tech goals would be. You know that this person probably has access to a number of different things, being the assistant manager, especially being here when the manager isn't here. They probably have access to the same, if not all, of their features. Just doesn't have a private office is really the only big difference. But this building was built in the 1890s, and this technology is from just a little bit after that. It feels like it is outdated, probably early 2000s. You see that she actually has where the music comes from that's playing over the speakers. Some nice chill music is on the original iPod. That's just plugged into an auxiliary cable. You can just see that it's just the black and white screen, not even the one that got the album covers that got to go on it. It's very, very generic old iPod. They have not invested tech-wise at the bank.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. This is very good for us.
All right, the comms are jammed. Your security detail in the Hammer is currently about to descend the stairs. Oprah is putting on her makeup and taking in the scenery. I imagine that with that mirror too, as you're putting on makeup, you're able to see people watching from behind you.
Yeah.
And just kind of start tallying up just how many people are in here. And with that, before we descend to the basement, we are going to take a short break. So that way people can hydrate. I am almost out of bevy, so take a minute to drink, take a minute to stretch, and when we return, we'll see what the bottom of this bank there in the basement looks like. And we'll see just what Oprah can get up to when the manager walks in. So, hold tight for 10 minutes. We'll be back soon. Cole, take us to break. Welcome back, everybody. It's still TPK Con, and this is still every con has its pros. Last we left off, we had our Hammer going downstairs while our tech and 2 Specters were upstairs waiting for the manager to arrive with Oprah. Let's go to our Hammer. So, security guard brings you down the stairs. She's like, fix that railing myself. As you start to walk down the stairs. And as you get to the lower floor, you realize that it's just a small kind of entry area and then the vault. Big, stereotypical, fancy vault door. There is what looks to be a keypad on the outside. And this is probably the newest technology in this place. But there isn't essentially there's not a eyeball scanner or anything like that. This is just a keypad with a fingerprint scanner underneath it. So more advanced than the technology you've seen so far, but still probably something that as you've worked with Larkspur in the past, you know that this is a very easy contraption for them to hack. And this here is the vault. It's got little mechanisms that, send the tubes down with the money. Those all go in there, and then each day, the money counters, I guess you could call them, they sort through all the money that's been dropped down into the bags and put it where it's supposed to go and keep it nice and tidy.
Was that at the end of the day they do that?
Yeah, end of each day. Unless there's a really big deposit, then maybe someone might come down and hand drop off something.
Is it just you and the cop up here?
Sometimes on our busier days like the weekends, we typically have 2 cops. And then my buddy is the other security guard who's here for the evening and weekend shifts.
Man, that's a lot of work for just you. They're lucky to have you.
The town is pretty small. We don't have a lot of things. But what we do have, we like to keep safe.
All right. I'm gonna knock him out.
All right. Let's do it. This is a security guard. He's had some training.
Mm-hmm.
What are you using to knock him out? Are you just gonna like punch him? You gonna try to jump and chokehold? You gonna just smack him with the back end of one of your fancy guns?
Yeah, I'm gonna just put my hand on his shoulder. Be like, bud, they're real lucky to have you. You seem underappreciated.
Thanks.
I'm gonna take out a champagne bottle from my holster. Be like,
Oh, we're gonna party?
we're gonna party, bro. You deserve it. You deserve a break. And then I'm just gonna use it to knock him out.
That is an inspired use of the champagne bottle. I am very excited about this. So you go to knock him out. We're going to have you roll. What was going to be a 5 is now going to be a 4 just because of the inspired use of the champagne bottle, of bringing your bottles from the speakeasy. So roll your heat, or roll your cool, tell me the number, roll the heat, and we'll get it going.
So that 4. Oh, okay.
Or if you roll 4 for cool, meets it, beats it. So 4 is what you want for cool. That's a success.
Should I take from the prep just in case?
Yeah. I would say that you've
You definitely
practiced
prepped this, so this is a good time to take a prep
This is
time.
good. Yeah.
That's 3 for cool. Here we go. I got a 6, a 5, and a 1.
6, 5, 1. So you have 2 successes there. Excellent work. Let's have you roll your heat.
So I got 1 dice for heat.
Mhm.
Don't disappoint me. I got a 2.
All right. So you successfully knock out this officer. However, this is just at the bottom of the stairs, and you do know that there was that person fanning out, Janice. She was trying to fan out the popcorn smoke.
Mm-hmm.
She had actually left the room, and she can hear the sound of a glass bottle cracking over something. She's not sure if it's like, to be fair, she just hears glass breaking. That's what she hears from upstairs. And you just hear is everything all right down there?
Oh, yeah, yes. I'm just so clumsy. I'm gonna come up there in just a moment. I'll grab, you guys have a mop or something? I'll just grab it. Let me take care of it. I made the mess. I'll clean it up.
Are you sure? We have a janitor. I'll go run and fetch the janitor, and you just hear the sound of Kitten Heels just disappear into the hallway. But he is successfully knocked out. How do you let the party know that the security guard has been dealt with?
I'm gonna
Since
take,
communications are jammed.
I am going to quickly take his badge and any keys he might have. I'm gonna run up the stairs. I'm gonna put so much popcorn in the microwave and set it for like 6 minutes. I'm gonna give myself 6 minutes to now, I don't know, I'm gonna dig through the employee lounge. I'm gonna find a bucket and a mop, and I'm just gonna throw it down the stairs like I've already started. Do you know if the employee went out into the lobby, or is there like another area that I might be able to call after them?
They did go back out into the lobby area. As to where the janitor's office is, let's say, Oprah notices as they're putting on makeup a woman walking by in kitten heels, towards a small room towards the front of the building. She opens the door. It is a dark room, but you can see a guy just sitting in there, watching on a very small TV what appears to be a sports ball game. And he's just kind of chilling, waiting until he has a mess to clean up. And you see her just talking with him, letting him know, and he just kind of waves his hand at her. And she closes the door, but after about 30 seconds, he comes out with a mop bucket and broom and just starts to roll it across the lobby.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to notice that Oprah's there, as he has his really cool headset and Walkman that he's fidgeting with because it's not actually emitting sound. As he walks past, he's very frustrated by his Walkman not picking up radio right now.
I'm gonna peek out of that employee-only door behind the tellers. I want to check and see if anybody is looking this direction, which I don't think they are, because Oprah. Just gonna give them this.
You see her mouth 6 minutes. T-Bone is just signaling out the door.
Okay.
Everyone seems to definitely be preoccupied with... All you get is 6 minutes and this, which you could interpret as explosions because it's T-Bone.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah, okay, fair.
something is happening.
Heck of the player does not understand, but Spade as a criminal probably does. Okay. Cool. In the meantime, seeing that T-Bone had just come from or still is around the place that the janitor is going and hasn't seen a security guard come back, kind of puts 2 and 2 together of probably what happened there and does not want the janitor to see. So she's gonna do that thing where you pretend to try to your best to find the signal and Lion King your phone, and just kind of wander around the lobby doing that to try to wander over to the fire alarm and pull it very discreetly, hopefully.
Let's roll for it.
Okay.
Most eyes are affixed on Oprah. It's just, oh my gosh, Oprah's here. Can you believe it? Are we gonna be on TV as they see the camera being set up? Everyone's fuddling with their own clothes, trying to make sure that they don't have a bunch of holes in it or stains or things of that nature. And you see people just kind of looking around what do we do? The assistant manager's not here. There's no manager. All the tellers are just trying to look presentable for Oprah. So I'm gonna have you make a roll. We're gonna say, for no one to notice you, pull the fire alarm. I have a 4.
Okay.
To make sure no one notices Oprah's agent walking around, Lion Kinging their phone.
And just one behind your back, just one behind your back, just pull the alarm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Are people cool if I take prep die for this? Okay. Because Specters are 1 and 1. I'm afeared. I am worried. Okay, so that means I'm rolling 2, right? So
yes. So you have to do an additional 1
to get to 4, right? You want to? Okay.
Yep. 4
cool.
to 4 meets it, beats it.
Okay, cool. Boop. 2 and a 2.
2 and a 2. Oh no. Well, the 2 is good. So that was just your cool that you rolled, right?
That was just cool. Yeah.
All right, roll the heat.
Okay. All right. I'm worried. That's a 3.
3. Okay, so we're not gonna add a bunch of heat to this, but as you go to like kind of do that cool lean back maneuver, the police officer kind of is like watching the scene, taking in what's happening. She comes over to you and is like, excuse me, sorry, you're about to hit the fire extinguisher. Just if you could step away from it. And just kind of ushers you away and gives you a look. She seems to be a little bit suspicious of what's going on here. But she doesn't reach for anything. She doesn't reach for like a walkie, mainly because she's only getting feedback on her walkies right now. But she's kind of wondering what's going on in here now, and if there's something that more than meets the eye.
Okay. Just give me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so clumsy. And like, as she's like waiting to like gesture and like reply to her to set the fire alarm off.
You're gesturing back towards the hammer?
Well, no, like, she's just gonna, like, she's gesturing back towards the police officer, like, thank you for, like, letting me know, and, like, accidentally lean into the fire alarm. So.
Well, the 2 that you rolled to hit the fire alarm before were not successful as 2s. So, if you were going to attempt to smack it with the police officer there, who is kind of interposing herself between you two.
Okay.
We are going to roll again. This time, I'm going to say it's going to be, you need to roll a 6 in order to successfully turn it on by wiggling your way around them. Oprah and camera person, what are you two doing while watching your fellow criminal engage with a police officer and try to...
Is there anything like glass that can break that I can like drop and be like, oops, I dropped this? That would get the security guard's attention?
There isn't something glass. What there is there's a fancy bust of what appears to be the first general manager of the First National Bank of the town. That seems to be sitting on a pedestal, just kind of like, you know when they have essentially those load-bearing pillars inside of banks? He's kind of positioned directly in front, or the bust is positioned directly in front of one of those pillars, but just sitting on a fancy fake pillar. They tried to make it look very Greco-Roman-esque, but really it seems very out of place in this small town's bank.
Okay, I want to try to accidentally on purpose knock it over.
As Oprah walks across the room, she stumbles into the bus. Let's have you roll for it. It's not gonna be a hard roll because you're just knocking something that could easily be knocked off. So we're gonna say it's a 2 just to knock this bust off and draw attention to yourself. So you want to roll a 2 or higher for your cool dice, and then heat you want to roll a 1. You want to roll anything but a 1. There we go. You want to roll 2, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth.
Okay. I got a 2 and a 3.
Okay, that's what you needed. Those are both successful. No additional heat is added. No threat is added to the pool. Oprah knocks this bus that comes clattering down, and because of that, the cop's eyes do jut over. So we will essentially add, since we're helping each other out here, what we'll do is we'll take away 1. So rather than you having to roll a 6, you have to roll a 5 or a 6. Heck.
Okay.
to be able to pull that fire alarm. So increase your chances by creating a distraction, but you also still have to reach beyond the police officer to hit.
Yeah. Which we did get a donation earlier. I'm not sure how we wanted to deal with that. To potentially add a cool and when he like at different times or at the same time, we could just make the roll the same.
I
like
think,
if we could draw from chat here.
I think what we'll do is we'll allow the addition of a cool die to be added, or a +1. You can choose. You can either add an additional opportunity, so an additional die, or you can just choose to take the +1 and hope that that makes it. You would need then a 4, 5, or 6 instead of a 5. And then for the other option, I don't want to just roll a heat at the same time, like an additional heat. Actually, you know what? No, we will.
Yeah, we're
going to roll an additional heat die, but we're not going to add to the heat die or subtract from it, I guess, to worsen that effect. We are going to add an additional heat die, though.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take the 2 dice, but I think that's because Specters only have 1, so I'm a little less comfortable about just rolling 1 die.
If you want, you could also take from prep. And
I could. We haven't used a lot.
Do that again.
But
we've used 2 prep so far? Yep.
Yeah. I mean, so long
You
as
have
the rest
10
of the group
remaining.
is cool with that. You guys are okay with that? Okay. Alright. Alright. There was 1 5 and 1 6.
Woo! Success.
Thank
now
you,
roll
critical
that
roll
beautiful,
die.
beautiful heat for me.
Yep. Okay, so it's 2, correct? 2 dice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a 3 and a 4.
3 and a 4. So we add in some threat. We haven't added threat yet because I was waiting until Heck got through this. So you do successfully set off the fire alarm. However, the police officer is heckin' aware that, like, she told you, look out for the fire alarm, and you were like, no, oops. So you're able to set off the fire alarm. It's going. Everyone's starting to like jump out of their seats and get a little bit concerned. Now, going forward, because of those failures, because we technically failed 3 times with the first one and then the second 2, you can choose to add heat permanently to your character, where you'll have to roll additional heat each time, or you can add to the threat pool. You could also mix and match these 3 however you want. With that, you don't know where the threat meter's at. It's currently at 0. So the threat meter going up impacts all of the group. If we hit the threat meter limit, everything goes sideways. You either get arrested, the bank blows up and collapses in on you and you all die, or you have to leave, regroup, and your mission was not successful. So there can be a number of things that happen when the threat meter hits its limit. You don't know that. I know what it is. Secrets. And then if you choose to take on additional heats, essentially someone or something is going to be aware of you, making your next moves harder going forward. Heck, you took which?
I took the escape artist.
You took the escape artist? So that's the find a spot instantly. Okay. Nikki was the one who took your first 2 failures mean nothing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I since I don't know where the threat meter is, I have 3 to distribute between. Okay. I'll put 1 into threat, and then just take the other 2.
Okay. So going forward, you will have to roll 3 heat die.
All right.
For every roll. Chat, if you're wondering, oh no, how do we fix that? Just help donate bits and stuff to, or channel points, to Heck. So that way they can roll additional cool die. Or don't. And let chaos ensue. I'm a big fan of chaos. All right. So the security guard, or the cop, knows that you pulled the fire alarm. and everyone starts to get up out of their seats, starts to like make their ways towards the door, which you would normally do in this instance. However, the cop then reaches out to everyone and is like, everyone, false alarm. It's not real. T-Bone, standing in the background, what do? You can
Has it been
start to
6 minutes?
smell. It hasn't been the full 6 minutes, but you smell the burning. The burning takes off like after 2.5 minutes, 3-ish minutes. You're like, stuff is stinky. What do you choose to do from
Is there any
behind?
smoke happening?
It's definitely getting a little smoky. It's getting a little hazy in there. There was already some smoke,
Mm-hmm.
but getting a little bit more.
I'm going to open the door. I'm going to scream fire and then hope that the burning smell adds to the realism.
Yes, I like this. So, to get everyone out of the building, you're yelling fire. I'm going to have you roll for it. Because of the smoke and the smells and the burning grossness coming out from behind you, and the fact that there's already a little bit of chaos because these fire alarms are going off and no one has the ability to turn them off because the assistant manager's outside, like, looking around, waiting for the manager to show up. We're going to have you roll just a DC 3. So no one can see the fire yet, but with the smoke and stuff like that, they're more likely and inclined to believe you. So you want to roll a 3 or higher on your die. If you want, you can take from the prep pool. You have a total of 9 prep remaining.
You said 3 or higher?
Yep.
I feel good about that. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I got a 4 and a 2.
A 4 and a 2.
That's the cool. You want the
Okay.
heat?
Yep. Give me that heat.
I got a 4.
Good. Excellent. So you are successful in shouting fire into the room, and with the smoke coming in behind you, especially the people that are like really close to the door, they are very inclined to believe you, and they're like, all right, we gotta go. Fucking Janice. Because it is the smell of burnt popcorn that initially comes out. And then people start to notice that there's like a lot more smoke as you're standing there in the doorway, and it starts to like actually come out. The cop is suddenly very confused because she knows that this agent just pulled the fire alarm, and then she sees actual smoke, and you see her like try to like message out, hey, there's an actual fire here at the bank, but because of the comms receptor, just nothing but static coming back. She is actually going to be like, listen, I got my eyes on you. Get Oprah out to safety. I'm going to go see if I can reach out to the fire department. And she's going to go out to the front of the building where her police car is located, and she's going to start trying to reach out to people to see if we can get a firefighter or a fire truck here, and see if the fire alarms or the alarms are actually alerting the fire department in town. So she steps out. She is distracted now, but she's suspicious, very suspicious of how all of this is coming together.
Suspicious of Oprah?
Suspicious
How?
of Oprah's agent and T-Bone, who was just in the employees area without the security guard that went down there with her. So it could be that the security guard's trying to put out the fire, but she knows better.
Yeah.
So Oprah and Larkspur. Nikki, what's your character's name again? I keep saying
Allison.
Oprah. Allison and Larkspur.
Okay.
You are standing there watching kind of a little bit of chaos ensue, and someone comes up and is like, Oprah, let me get you to safety.
Excuse me? This is Oprah. She can handle herself.
I'm sorry. I just
Powerful.
I want to make sure you're safe.
I'm sure she's grateful, but your safety always comes first.
It's so touching. The person's just like, okay, but there's a fire. We need to go.
Right. Look, I'm the camera person. We have a security guard. I'm sure I will be able to handle getting Oprah out. Just make sure that you get out and stay safe, right? You have to make sure about your own health and safety first. Also, I know there's smoke coming out. Just give me some time to pack things up. We got to make sure that Oprah doesn't lose anything here.
All right, do you want any help?
I think we're good. I don't want I know it's probably not that great, but policy, we can't have you accidentally taking anything or it's the same thing. We don't want to have any legal problems. I'm worried about you. I don't want lawyers coming down on you, especially even when you're being helpful. It's better if you just leave. Just make sure that you and I don't know if you have any family, but make sure you get out safe first.
Okay, if you say so. And they're as you're starting to finish, they're just staring at Oprah, waiting for Oprah to acknowledge them or recognize that they're there trying to save her.
Oprah's gonna just nod and maybe she's trying to pick up the bus that she knocked over.
Oh yeah.
And just nod and kind of wave the person along.
A wave from Oprah is enough to convince this teller to flee for their lives and cherish this moment. About this time, as Oprah's putting the bus back on, as Allison's sitting there stacking everything, making sure it looks nice, leave no trace after all. You get the feeling that you probably have just a couple minutes before the heat gets real, before the fire truck is there, before any additional police officers arrive. So what are you guys going to do as this bank clears out? Is there any moves that you're going to make? Are any of you going to start heading towards the vault? You're currently in here with a bunch of fleeing tellers.
I think we should head towards the vault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I am still kind of in the corner of the eye of this police officer, I would probably use my escape artist move. Just try to find the easiest, most accessible exit from her sight, if that makes sense. If I can weave through the crowd in such a way that she doesn't really see where I disappeared off to, that'd be great.
Yeah, in a moment she starts to look around. She knows that she needs to get back to the police car to start reaching out to them. And when she looks back to be I've got my eyes on you, she has no one to say that to. She just looks back and she's what in the heck? And she just books it back towards her police car. There are currently no active security guards because the one is unconscious downstairs, and she is now out of the building, standing outside. Not only are you able to just sneakily get through this crowd, you get to the other side of T-Bone, who's standing in the only doorway into this area, and you appear on the other side, much to T-Bone's surprise.
Didn't see you there.
Spooky.
The skull, everything. Yeah, mask is on at this point because why not?
I have a question for the GM.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's enough time for, say, Larkspur to get into the assistant manager's computer and try to...
Oh yeah, as the tellers start to flee and stuff, and you just kind of take a seat, fuddling with your camera equipment, you can easily take that seat at the desk. Let's have you roll to see if you can now hack this computer that you have locked the screen of.
Okay, well, first thing's gonna do is check the security question and also look for any side journal partitions, post-it notes to the side, right? Also, are the sprinklers going off?
The sprinklers are not going off as you're as you kind of start to have this thought, but you see T-Bone standing in the doorway as more smoke starts to come out, and you get a feeling that they're about to start.
Okay. So, see if we can't try to like figure out the password and get into the systems like ASAP.
Yep. Let's roll for it. Do you have what is your tech move that you chose?
Overclock. So I can roll my cool and my heat die together and just count successes, not fails.
Excellent. So, with that, we're going to have you roll. You know how to hack. This is an older computer system. We're going to say it's a 4 to get in and and to not only just pass like the entrance, but to get into their security system that they have.
Okay. And I'm going to take, if everyone's okay with that, take a prep die.
Sure.
Okay. That's roll twice, right? Or do I add?
You add 1 die to your cool.
Okay.
So it's an additional cool die there.
Ooh, okay, so a 3 is not a pass, but we roll again. 5.
5. A 5 is a pass.
Okay.
All right, let's roll the heat. Let's see if anyone's
is-
watching. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna. This
Do you
is
want
gonna
to roll
suck.
4 or higher again?
Okay, this is gonna suck because it's the tiny one. It doesn't like me, but
Roll it.
roll. Fucking 2.
It's a 2. So you're able to hack into this computer system. You're able to get into their security footage as well as their general security information. But as the tellers are running out, a couple of them do notice you at the computer, just kind of hacking in and like point it out as they're walking out. So you've been made in this regard as the camera person using the computer system here at the town bank.
Okay.
Oprah, you were going back towards the door, right? To go back towards the safe?
Yes.
As you kind of clear that door, the sprinklers turn on, and you know that Larkspur is at the computer. So we have Allison, T-Bone, and Spade. You're in that hallway. There is smoke starting to come out, and all of a sudden you guys hear just kind of like an electrical pop as the microwave combusts in the employee lounge, and there is a small fire that has begun at this bank. Next move is yours.
T-Bone's not concerned about a small fire. I'm just gonna slide down the railing that the security guard fixed previously. To get to the bottom and just drag him to the little thumb pad and open the safe.
There is a keypad as well as the thumb pad, so there is a code that needs to be entered, followed by a thumb.
Oops.
So as you like go to smash his thumb, it acknowledges that a thumb is pressing on it and then goes red.
I need somebody who's good at figuring out this code.
Okay. Well, I guess Lark is going to work on deleting all footage and shutting off the cameras.
Okay.
Just straight up, like, actually not even straight up shutting off the cameras. This is an old system, right? Can Larkspur turn on every system that uses the electrical grid and cause an overload, which would actually like cause an actual building fire, by the way?
We can definitely roll for it. As we continue to try to ignite this bank, let's have you roll. It's going to be a harder roll just because there's definitely a way to do it. There's just not a lot of technology at this bank.
That's true.
So what we're going to do is it's going to be a 5 or higher that you'll need to roll to start the fire that you wish to start.
Got it. And another question. Is the vault security keypad connected to the system?
We can find that out in the roll.
Okay. I'm actually gonna use overclock, actually.
Heck, yeah.
So I think I have another heat die because of the last one I failed, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll 3 dice, and we hope that one of them is a 5 or higher. And
Yes.
is anyone okay with me taking another prep die?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we have
Cool.
We're
I
all
believe
good.
in you.
Okay,
Totally.
so I roll the first 2, and I'm sorry, I only have 2 dice, so I'm gonna roll the first 2, I'm gonna roll again.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a 4 and a 2. Please work, please work, please work, please work, please work! And a 1 and a 2. And I hate everything.
So, unfortunately, you are unsuccessful in trying to ignite a fire. And you're not seeing any, like, you know how, like, they have the notes and things like that on computer home screens and stuff like that, where people, like, leave notes and stuff like that. You're not seeing any passwords on that or anything that would point out where a passcode could be for the vault downstairs. But it is just you up here now. The sprinklers are on. There is some water starting to develop, and you start to see, like, especially some of the tellers' computers start to spark out as everything is starting to get real wet upstairs.
Okay.
For those of you who are downstairs, the sprinklers have not been activated downstairs. It is apparently the system is sophisticated enough to know which floor the fire is on.
Cool.
My
Hmm.
sweet Specter friends. Do you know how to find a code?
Dispensation.
I mean, I have lockpicking tools.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would really work here.
I'm gonna say that within your lockpicking tools, I think it was like in Agent Cody Banks or something like that, where you could like apply
you,
the
like,
dust
stick
to
a
the
thing on
keypad
it. Oh my god!
and like
yeah.
see where the
See
finger
where the-
oils are.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know.
I'm gonna say that that exists in both Specter's kits.
Okay, cool.
Now, whichever one of you wants to be the one that attempts to figure out what the code is, that's up to you.
Which of us have had better luck with the dice so far?
I
think it might
you
be
have.
you.
I think you
yeah.
have.
I think you
The dice
have, and
not
you
liked me
also
today.
you also have the move where you ignore your first failures.
Okay.
Like as adding heat or threat to the pool. You still fail and receive those failures, but you don't experience the negative consequences, as it were.
Okay, I'm going to roll. Is
Yes.
it one of each again? The heat and
It's one of each, unless you want to take from the prep pool, and then it is going to be a DC. We're going to say you need to roll a 5 or a 6 again, because you're trying to determine the order of the keypad. You may be able to find which one the fingers. So I'll say that you can find which ones the fingerprints are on, just without even rolling. Now you're trying to determine what order these numbers go in.
Okay, since we need to get this money out of here, I want to use a prep if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to I just have 2 dice today, so I'm going to roll these
Yeah, let's
two.
roll the 2 first, and then we'll roll the heat second.
Yeah, I got a 3 and a 1.
3 and a 1. So it's difficult to determine what numbers you're supposed to press. You start like tapping the numbers in their order as your hammer friend is just sitting there smashing the thumbprint of the security guard in. And none of them seem to light up green. Let's roll the heat.
Okay. Please be a low number. 1.
1. You're good. So, or no, you wanted that to be a higher number. Sorry.
Oh,
As you guys are like smashing the thumb in and pressing the numbers,
well, I can ignore it, right?
you can. Yep, you ignore the negative consequences, so you don't get any more heat and you don't add any to the threat pool. But the negative consequence is that you guys are essentially like locked out for a period of time. Like it does after you try to like go into your iPod too many times with the wrong password, it's that. Or your iPhone. There we go. That's the way it works. So you're locked out for 1 minute.
Oh, we don't have the time for that.
I'm gonna just start shaking down the security guard again and see if maybe he has a passcode written on a little post-it note, because he just seems like that kind of security guard.
Let's roll for it. It's pretty easy to dig through his stuff because he's unconscious.
Exactly.
So you need to roll a 3 or higher. You want 3s or higher on your dice.
I got a 4 and a 2.
All right. So what
And I
you're
got 1 heat.
Yep, 1 heat.
A 6.
6. Excellent. He does not come back. You knocked him out cold earlier. As you're digging through, you do find what appears to be a pager, but the pager appears to have like auto-generating numbers. Larkspur would definitely know what this is, but it looks like this is possibly could be a passcode where the numbers just kind of auto-generate over time, and you can, by just like holding down the button, you can see what numbers are currently there. So,
But I have to wait a minute before I can input it.
mhm.
I'm just gonna like pop the champagne and take a sip.
Just loud pop. Larkspur, you can't hear too much upstairs. The computer that you're working on just slowly starts to fizzle out as it gets more and more wet. It's actually this monitor that's fizzling out. The computer is underneath the desk and staying dry, but the monitor just goes whoop and goes blank.
Okay. Based on what Larkspur saw when she was in the security system, could she see where the security cameras were located?
Yes. Yep, you have full schematics of the security cameras.
And where is the footage stored?
The footage is stored in the safe.
In this, like, in the vault.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Larkspur is just gonna say, fuck it, and head downstairs because, first, actually, can Larkspur, like, just, like, taser the assistant manager's computer and just short circuit everything in there? Well, okay, not even gonna bother doing that. Larkspur is going to take out the screwdriver, open it up, and just leave it in the sprinkling system. Like just like push it out of the desk and let it get like
Just get soaked.
get soaked.
Yep, so as you pull the PC unit out, you just kind of like lay it down flat on its side and water just starts to puddle into it. And you definitely hear the short circuiting start as it starts to spark, and then because of all the water just goes out.
Tries not to get shocked from
Yeah,
and
from
then
an
just
electrical.
sprints way down to the. It's like, okay, oh hey, Walkman auxiliary cord, yoink. just yoinks the iPod auxiliary cord, takes it with her all the way down. Run.
You make it down to find Allison, Spade, and T-Bone just staring at the lock, then looking at the clocks and staring at the lock again. 30 seconds.
Bypass underneath it though that like Larkspur could just like yoink push.
You could try. Yeah.
All right. Lark is gonna try to like hook it up to her hacking tablet, which she has as a tech, and just like auxiliary cord plug it into like rip open the bottom of the panel, right, and just plug in the cord and try to like just hack it, right? Is it also you have the randomly generated numbers, right?
I got a beeper.
Like you got a paper, and that it's a pseudo random generator, so we're just going to have fun with that. All right. Because the pseudo random generator is it's not actually a random generator, right? It's pseudo random, so it's got to be from specific. It has a very specific seed and a very specific formula to create it. So you can just work backwards to get the actual number.
Yeah. So we're gonna say your tech is all new, but this tech is all old. So trying to make those interlock and work together, roll your dice. Roll your dice And it's going to be a 5 or 6 that you want to roll on all those dice.
Oof. Oof.
For both heat and cool. Because
Oof.
it's a harder thing to hack in this moment.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it's also like time crunch.
Yeah,
This is
especially within 30 seconds.
I have 1 cool die. This is not gonna work.
You
We
could take a
still have
prep.
6 prep. Yeah.
We still have 6 prep.
Mhm.
Okay. Are you okay with this? Then we will
Oh
roll
no,
to
we lost
No.
one.
We'll pause right there, right before Larkspur attempts to hack and fix our technology. And we're back. We are back with Larkspur trying to hack the bank's locking mechanism. Ooh. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, time to do dance, everybody. As Cole moves us around, we are going to have Larkspur attempt the hack. You've taken 1 prep die, so you've got 2 die to roll, and you've got 1 heat.
Oh boy. Okay. Please work. Please work. Please work. Please work. Please work. Please work.
Trying to roll 5 or 6 on all the dice.
Larkspur is just going to like sit in a corner and just cry a little bit while like also hacking this thing. Just like you can just like see like nervous finger twitching as she rolls a fucking 2 and rolls again. A 5! Holy shit! Okay.
Why did the dice hate us most of the time?
Most of the time.
Okay. So now we have to roll this one
Yep, for the heat.
for the heat. Okay, please work. A 4.
A 4.
close.
So as you're hacking in, you're like, oh yeah, I did it. And you hear like the click, and you, as T-Bone is sitting there pressing the thumb in to the keypad still while you're hacking to just kind of like override and get the hack numbers in. You enter the numbers. 30 seconds is just about up. As T-Bone, you notice the fingers wiggle in the hand beneath you as the security guard is like, what's going on? Why does it smell like... Is that a Brute 1964 Blue Bottle? It's the Blue Bottle brand. What do? The security guard is awake, and he can smell this cheap brand of champagne.
I am going to pull on my mask. And I'm going to turn to him and say, "We're robbing a bank," and try and knock him out again.
As the adrenaline rushes in, as he hears we're robbing a bank, I'm gonna have you roll. You've currently got his hand in your hand, and you're just kind of standing over him. So we're gonna do, you want to roll a 4 or higher to be able to knock him out. What are you using to knock him out with this time, since you drank out of 1 bottle and the other bottle is busted? So you only brought those 2 bottles with you. Are you going to use the open champagne bottle? Are you going to use something else within your equipment?
I'm going to use the open champagne bottle. He needs like a little bit of knocking out, not like the whole thing.
All right, let's swing again. And you do have prep dice. I believe we're at 5 in the pool currently. If you want to use it. Otherwise, you don't need to. Because we had the prep that Michelle used that I forgot to take out.
We're just gonna try it. 1 heat.
We
All
love
right,
it.
so you want 4 or higher on the die.
Oh.
It's gonna happen.
So roll your cool first and then roll your heat. Sorry. Or
4.
4.
Cool.
So you're able to successfully knock him out. Let's roll that heat.
5 heat.
Heat. Oh, yeah.
Bring the ham
Damn.
or bring the pain.
So you're able to, with one hand, just whack him. And then with the other, you're still holding him with the thumb pressed in. And you slowly start to hear the safe and all of its locking mechanisms creak open. And with a swift, like reaching your leg forward, you're able to just kick him back out of the way so that way the door can open freely. The bank vault opens before you, where you do see, similar to that of Logan Lucky, one of my favorite heist movies of all time. You see the canisters that are coming in that have been dropping off money and deposits. There's not a lot because it's only Monday morning and they cleaned it up Saturday night. So there's not too much of a mess, but you see some canisters on the floor with money in them. You also see bags of money. You see money that's like filed away cash-wise. So this is all cash inside this vault. They may have kept checks and stuff like that upstairs. But the vault is yours to clear out. You guys probably think you have maybe 2 minutes to clear out this vault before the fire department arrives.
We've got this, Larkspur. Work on the footage.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start
Fill
taking
Oprah's bag.
money.
You guys just start throwing money into the bag.
Yep.
Yes. All right, so as you start to load up the bag of holding that is Oprah's purse, you start to just yeet things in there. It just keeps going, Mary Poppins style, filling up this bag. You're able to also slide some stuff into your cargo pants, Larkspur, as you just start figuring out, like, how do I get this money and things like that. I'm gonna say it's a small town bank. You're pretty easily able to gather everything within the 4 minutes, or the 2 minutes. So you have.
Can Lark go straight to the server and just start taking it apart and just like, I mean, she has a taser ready. She's just gonna fry that the motherboards in there.
Yeah, let's roll for it. I'm gonna say, yeah, with the taser, you need a 3 or higher to be able to fry everything to your satisfaction.
Okay. Can Larkspur like crank it up to the max and just like no taser ever, just fry the whole thing?
Yeah, crank it up to 11.
Okay.
Remember, 5 die currently in the prep pool. We're gonna crank our taser up to 11. So you need a 3 or higher. There was also a donation earlier that I'm gonna say allows you to add +1 to any of the die that you roll.
Okay. Okay. Fuck. Does anyone mind if I take another prep die because it's a 3? And okay, we're gonna roll. We're gonna hope this is a. Okay, it's a 2. Does anyone can I like should I just like roll again or
Yeah,
maybe add a
since
+1?
since you're taking the prep die, you get the second die.
Okay. Please stop dropping on the floor. That's a 5.
A 5, that is successful. So at first you're like, your taser, you go in to like drop it off and you're like, wait, no, I need to crank this up to 11. So you pull it back as it's already on, turn that dial up, and then you just look at your party members getting ready to yeet it. Now I want you to roll that heat.
Okay, because this is gonna hurt. Please don't hurt too much. Holy fuck, I got a 6.
Hell yeah. So not only are you able to throw this taser into the mainframe of this bank's vault, you are able to safely throw it in there so it does not combust or catch any of the money on fire, and also doesn't like yeet back electricity towards your party members who are just grabbing everything they can.
Sorry.
Allison, you're on the other side. You start watching like the sparks fly out as you're just grabbing cash, but are able to just dip out of the way fast enough. All right.
Because I'm
Yeah.
Oprah, I can
Yeah.
just do anything.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm just thinking of Oprah robbing a bank right now, and it's wonderful distracted thoughts in my brain. So you gathered all the cash. How do you leave?
Does Lark have her mask on right now? Like, I feel like she put it on before, like, she ran downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does everyone have their masks on now?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, can we blow up the bank on the way out?
Yes.
Yeah, just leave like always.
Yes,
yeah.
we can. No one will ever be able to come back in here.
Clearly.
Yeah. If you ever seen the Heathers musical, always leave something in the boiler room. But anyway, what does the vault look like? What's the structure like? Is it a bunch of drawers? Is it like
So there's
separate
a
like?
few safety deposit boxes, but not a lot. You gather that this, because it's a small town, this is mainly a way for people to store cash
Okay.
as they need it. They definitely don't have enough cash in here to support if all of the people came back and asked for their money back. Typical bank nonsense.
Right.
But mainly cash. There's not a fancy vault within it that also has like big art pieces or anything like that. You do see like someone has grandmother's pearls in a drawer or something like that, and there's not a lot of people with generational wealth that are just storing it here at this bank.
Yeah, but are there like exposed kind of parts of wall that have like panels or something instead, or is it all?
It's mostly, so it's the drawers and stuff like that. There are spots where there's brick
okay.
that is on the outside, as well as what looks to be poured concrete just to support the building above the room. But if you imagine like an old Western movie bank that you just went into guns blazing, very similar to that down here. Not a lot of, like, you don't see any panels where like you would like be able to pull it forward and there would be like some form of like technology or anything like that behind it, if that's what you're looking for.
Okay, so no exposed wiring or anything.
No,
I wasn't even looking for that. I was looking for something. So I am considering using my once per session move, Houdini, to get through an air vent or something like that to the other side, or to like outside the vault, to possibly create some type of opening or escape so the rest of the group doesn't have to go through the front entrance, because we know there's going to be a lot
back
there.
entrance.
There was a back entrance.
Yeah, T-Bone knows about the back entrance. That's literally just like you walk up those stairs and there is a door that presumably goes outside. T-Bone didn't check it, didn't look behind it, but there is another way out the back side of the bank. Cool. As for like air vents and stuff down here, there isn't any type of like central air or anything like that coming in here. There are the tubes though that go upstairs. So if there were to happen to be a fire in here, it would have the potential to breathe. This isn't like a no airflow, no oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
There is those tubes that go up and down, or that go down and that are walked back upstairs as a method of oxygen generation. It would be very difficult for anyone who is not a Houdini to sort out how to go up and down those pipes.
So I saw a back door out of here. Would you guys prefer I blow up the downstairs or the upstairs?
I mean, the upstairs is already fried. And soaked. So
if we're done here, I can just set my small explosive, take my happy trigger with me. I'm just gonna pick up my new security guard friend over my shoulder. Let's go.
Are we gonna make him blame him for all the problems?
Yeah, we'll set him up back in the alley, but not
It's the manager's fault. She never even showed up.
Yes. Oh, you're so right.
Clearly. I guess.
In Oprah Unhinged.
I guess it's time to go. And pulls out electrical tape. Do we want to tie this guy up?
Yeah. I'm going to carry him out of here like a sack of potatoes because I'm a hammer, but I'm not a murderer.
You're a different breed of hammer. All right, so you all go upstairs. I'm going to have T-Bone roll for me to see if you can carry him upstairs. And then as a person looking for the way out, Spade, I'm also going to have you roll just to see if you can hear anything, if you can hear like sirens, or if you feel like you have the all clear right now.
Okay.
So I'll have you both roll. We'll start with T-Bone. Roll for me to see if you can carry this lumpy security guard upstairs.
You got a number?
Yeah. You're pretty strong. You thick. You go to the gym. I'm gonna say a 3 or higher to be able to carry him up the stairs without jostling him awake.
I got 2 5s.
2 5s. Oh yeah, easy peasy. Now if you want to roll the heat for me to see if he
Do
wakes
want to
up.
roll the heat.
So 3 or higher.
I got a 6.
6. He stays asleep like a soft baby, just resting over your shoulder. As you carry him out toward and start leading the way towards the back door. Spade.
Okay. So
We're
I
gonna
have
have you-
advantage. What does that mean again?
You have advantage, so I'll let you just re-roll one of your dice.
Okay, cool.
Treat it like a normal advantage there.
Okay, cool.
So you can either save that and roll for the heat, or
I will
or-
probably use that for the heat because I have 3 of them. Anyway.
but let's say that it's to be able to hear anyone and to like take in the surroundings amidst all the chaos of the fire alarms going off, the sprinkler spraying you in the face, and trying not to jostle this police officer awake, or this not police officer, sorry, security guard. I'm gonna need you to roll a 5 or a 6 to see if you can hear what's going on outside before you open up
Alright.
that back door.
Okay. Is it possible to use a prep die on a perception check? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright.
What I would consider that is like you spent time like really focusing and honing in those skills ahead of time.
Alright, cool. That's a 6. Okay, a 3 and a 6. Okay.
Woo.
We got the second half, y'all.
Alright. Alright, we did it. Okay, well I have to roll a heat still. But I'm gonna have a reroll in case things go sideways. Okay. 2 6s and a 1.
Fixes
No, I'll just
and-
re-roll it
Okay.
because I have the advantage. Why not? Nope, 2. But 2 6s.
2 6s, but that one.
Well, it's a
No.
2 now.
Well,
but,
2.
but still.
You're able to. You can hear outside. You can hear the sound of fire trucks arriving. You can hear the sound of what also appear to be other types of emergency vehicles. Though you're inside a building, can't really see out yet. It sounds more like they're coming from as you're going up the stairs from behind you, so out towards the front door.
Okay.
Do you open the door to go out the back?
I'm nervous. I feel like they're surrounding the building. Tell you what. I think I'm gonna use Houdini. I just feel better about doing it. So I'm going to use Houdini. The location that I am declaring exactly where I want to be is the escape vehicle. And I'm there. To explain how I got there is I pulled a hole among us and just vented out, went to the fire escape, climbed on down. I'm just gonna drive this car like as close to that exit as I can so everyone can get out, but like the vehicle's already hot, so we can just go.
Vehicle's hot and ready to go. And as you
Yeah.
pull up to that back door, she turns around to face you, and it's the police officer from before who just stares at you in the driver's seat, and you
Have
just
a
kind
mask
of
on.
see her flex a little bit with your 3 friends. that you know are on the other side of this door.
Can Oprah leave?
Is Oprah going to leave through the front door, or is she going to leave through the
That was
back
a
door?
sentence.
She needs her security guard to help her out because of the fire.
Yeah. And I saved the security guard for the bank.
Yeah, she did. Oprah saw it.
I saved Oprah and I saved the security guard. That's how it works. I don't know what to tell you, GM.
All right, so you open the back door, and you see her standing there, and she looks in and sees Oprah's security guard with a golden face now.
Oh, no, I had to rip that off when we went through the door. Just like a...
And Oprah's coughing.
In order to to remove that mask, I'm going to say you're going to need to roll for it to see if you can do it without her catching you. And I'm going to say, once again, she's observant as heck. You're going to need to roll a 5 or a 6 on all of your dice
That's who.
to be able to do it before she notices. There are currently 3 prep dice in the pool.
Use them.
Okay. All right, here goes 3 for cool.
Larkspur, I'm going to say that you're behind them, kind of like concealed, so you can still have your mask on if you want, but the hammer is holding the security guard, and Oprah is coughing dramatically in front of you. So you're able to just kind of duck and hide. They don't notice you right away.
Okay.
I have 2 4s and a 3.
Chef's kiss.
And I got a heat 4.
Excellent. I love when this happens. This is great for me now. So as you go to rip off your mask, it gets stuck partway on your face as you're like holding this security guard, like trying to get it off, but also trying to like use one single arm. And in the process, you dump him, causing him to like stir awake a little bit, but he's coughing now because there's a bunch of smoke here. And you see her just reach down real quick for that walkie-talkie that she has that is short range to the police officers up front. She goes to start yelling in it.
Clear the room. We're clearing it. We're clearing the room.
Yes.
Getting the security guard and the police officer. They gotta go.
All right. You may target everyone in the room when you use violence, needing to only roll once. So, I'm going to say for this, to be able to just kind of get them out of here, what do you have on you? You have a small set of explosives.
I have an empty champagne bottle,
You have an empty champagne bottle.
a vest, and I have a few heavy guns.
So how are you going to get these two to get away from you?
I am going to... I don't want to kill anybody. Can I just tranquilize them? My heavy guns have sleep time medicine.
Yeah. Yep. Non-lethal sleep
There we
time
go.
medicine. It's just high dose NyQuil that's inside this. So not only you'll help the colds later too, so they can thank you for that
Mhm.
from their bronchitis that they're about to get from all this smoke inhalation.
Exactly.
We're going to say you need to roll a 3. 3 or higher because you have this on you to hit both of them. So like as she goes to reach for it, you're just gonna pew pew. And
How many prep? How many prep?
you have 2 prep remaining.
Is that? You guys cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
We gotta get out of here. I'm cool with it.
You
So
said
you'll
2 or
roll
higher.
1 prep die, whatever your cool is at right now, and whatever your heat is at.
Here goes 3 for cool. I got a 5 and a 4 and a 1.
5, 4, 1. So you are successful with your pew pew. Now roll that heat. Does she get the message off in time?
I got a 3.
3 meets it, beats it. That's what you wanted. So she goes, she hits the on button to start talking, and you're just like, not today. And pew pew her. She collapses to the ground. You are all able to make your way to the car. Allison carrying most of the cash in the comically large purse. Larkspur just laughing maniacally as you have successfully started a lot of chaos and fire inside the building, completely destroying any evidence. T-Bone just leaving them behind right outside the building. The bodies. You're muted.
Oh, you're muted. Ha! I put them in the dumpster because I'm going to explode this building and I want them to have a
nice safety show. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So, foop, foop, as Spade's sitting behind the driver's, like the steering wheel, just like, oh gosh, let's get out of here. You
Splish splash.
pile into the vehicle. What kind of scene do you leave behind as you explode the building? Are you just trying to get it to collapse in on itself? Are you trying to start a fire? I mean, there is a fire because of the popcorn.
I would like it to collapse in and not out.
Collapse in and not out. Okay.
Yeah.
Implode.
Self-contained.
Yep, self-contained. You know what you're doing. You've done it before in much larger buildings than this. The building slowly starts to crumple in on itself. And you guys kind of, especially you, Larkspur, are just checking the internet to see if there's been any trace of your team, if anyone took any pictures or anything like that. And fortunately for the early communications device, there wasn't any early on communication. However, you do start to see Twitter start popping up with, is Oprah alive? All these questions of like, what happened to Oprah? Oprah was in this small town. What went wrong? What was happening at this bank? Did Oprah do it? There's all these conspiracy theories that start to like kind of go off over the internets, but no one seems to have any pictures of your face popping up. The only face that does pop up is, in fact, Oprah being inside this bank. Everyone else, a little bit blurred off to the side, if they're even in it. However,
I'm not using this mask again.
yes. As you
Fuel the
start to
fire.
pull away, once the communications device is turned off, a message comes in to you from the motherboard. I have a stop for you on your way home, if you're interested.
What do we think, gang?
Yeah, just let me grab another mask out of my bag of masks.
Hell yeah. Spade will kick in the gas, turn the radio up, and is ironically playing the song "We Didn't Start the Fire." And yeah, cool.
As you kick into gear, you get the information of an art theft. As you start to drive down the road, you hear light security is going to be at this private art studio that seems fairly low-key, but what she can inform you of is this is low people, low physical person security presence, incredibly difficult technology. It is, in fact, like just well-guarded, safe, lasers. She starts sending all the details. You start getting all this information in. Very simple building. Appears on the outside to look like a cabin in the woods, but in fact is a place of highly valuable art pieces from previous heists. It appears that other criminals have used this location as a storing location for these art pieces, and the motherboard wants them for herself. So you begin driving. And as you do. Good job of leaving no trace, by the way, everyone.
We did it.
We did it. Oprah
We
might
did
have
it.
been
We
there.
knocked them over.
Oprah might have been there.
Oh, Larkspur is just like nervously like fueling the fire on like just like, was it really Oprah? Like just like
Because all the bot farms are, absolutely working at this. So good.
Yeah, Oprah at a small town bank.
Just a small town bank. Just here on a Monday morning.
Easy.
The drive takes you approximately 5 or 6 hours to get there. You're able to stop for food, stop for snacks. I need Michelle, roll a d6 for me.
cries a little bit. Okay, that did not fall in a. Oh, it's only a 2.
2. The most important thing you must gather is a very fragile piece of pottery. And it cannot be broken. It must be in pristine condition. Anything else, go for it. Go hog wild. Motherboard will share the profits for it with you. Pati, can you roll a d6 for me?
I shouldn't be the one handling the pottery. 3.
3. All right. So, when you go inside of this vault, or what the motherboard tells you about this vault is that the people that have been collecting here, it's a lot of pottery inside. So it's not just paintings and like flat pieces of work. This person collects pots. So this is a specific piece of pottery that you're looking for inside of a cabin in the woods filled with just different pieces of pottery. That'll be a little bit more challenging to navigate getting them out. You may not want to throw them into a large purse. But you have some ideas of how you could carry it, whether it's holding it in your arms, carabining some of them to your cargo pants. You all have like different ideas of how you would carry out multiple pieces of pottery. And then we are going to have Nikki, if you want to roll a d6 for me.
Sorry, I got a 6.
6. All right. So, you look back into your mystery machine of a car and see that there is a piece of pottery in here that you don't remember putting in here. It is a forged piece of the pot that looks identical to the one that you have to steal. And you need to put it there in place of the pot that you are going to be stealing. To make them believe that they still have this piece. Now, because of just the experience you gained in that last heist, you are all going to be able to take one more move out of your playbook. So choose one more advance and let me know which one you are taking. So we'll go kind of around the group and you'll sort out which advance you want to take now. If it was a once per session advance that you did, you'll be able to reuse that again in this little bit of a heist. When you're ready, shout them at me.
I really like ghost reporting. I think I'm going to take ghost reporting. So if the threat meter has 2 segments or fewer filled in, well, +1 cool die with all rolls.
Oh, hell yeah. You guys are doing well with your threat meter right now. There is only 1 added to it.
Also, something that I saw here with cool and heat goals, What do those do exactly?
So, you're with cool and heat goals. So when you're adding one to your cool, that just gives you a permanent dice always. So an additional cool die. When you add one to heat, that gives you a -1. So adding one to their cool or heat, it allows you to kind of, if you add them to your cool, you have more opportunities for success. If you add it to, or when I add it to heat, or you choose to add it to heat because you failed a heat roll, then that kind of makes that fluctuate. And then if you are looking to add one to your heat, or sorry, subtract, let me read this real quick. Okay, yeah, so if a criminal has a goal to either increase their cool, each criminal has a goal to increase their cool or decrease their heat. So you could choose one that allows you to choose a move that allows you to delete one of those heat. If you accomplish your cool goal, which are your heat goal, which is for you
To evade someone who's
pursuing you. Yeah, so I would say
getting
that
away. Can I remove one of my heat?
you can
Great.
You can remove one of your heat.
Awesome.
And then enter and exit a restricted area without being noticed. I'm gonna say that you didn't hit that one. That time.
I was like, I
they
figured.
were very aware
they
of you.
definitely saw me, which I'm fine with. That's okay. I just wanted to get some heat off of me.
Your heat can never go below 1, though. For those of you who are looking at that. So for the tech, delete any surveillance footage of the crew in action. You did do that, so you can add 1 cool dice going forward.
Okay.
So you'll just add that to your stats. So instead of rolling 1, you'd roll 2 now going forward. And then heat goal, shut down an ongoing alarm. You let the alarms keep running. So that's still going. For our hammer, intimidate a potential threat into submission. I'm not going to say you did that because you just kind of beat him up.
Charmed him at the beginning.
Charmed him, but intimidate. But you did, or I don't think you had your heat go up at all.
No.
So otherwise, just going forward, if you do need to delete heat, you can eliminate a security unit that is a threat to your group.
I did do that.
You did do that. You just can't go lower than 1, unfortunately.
So quick question: do we respawn our prep die or no?
I am going to add a little bit just because of what the motherboard's given to you, but for the most part, we are just going to go up to 6. So we've got to be a lot more careful with the prep die, and just a lot more okay with failure.
Okay.
Failure's neat. Consequences.
Well, I'm gonna toss something that might help. So Larkspur has been working very hard, so she's gonna take working hard. It's
what does working hard do?
So when Larkspur accomplishes an action of difficulty 5 or higher, it adds 1 prep die to the stash.
Oh heck yeah! Smart. Pati, what was the move you took?
T-Bone's gonna bag him.
Bag him. Once per ice, you can declare a target that you have the drop on as dead or incapacitated without needing to roll. They're just down. And then Nikki, what was the advance that you took?
I was going to say escape artist, but I changed my mind to tumbler.
Tumbler.
Nice.
Reduce the difficulty of lockpicking actions by 1. That's gonna be a good one for where you're headed. So
Yeah, I was between the two, but I was like, oh, I really need to add cool dice the way that my dice have been rolling.
Yeah, well, Allison was so upset that she almost failed the fingerprint thing. She's been reading on lockpicking
the whole way.
Yeah.
So you've had a few hours now to prepare yourselves, and motherboard chimes in onto your GPS with the location. You're driving and you're driving, and you're driving, and finally you end up in a dark part of the woods. You're not really sure how people know this place exists. There's some tire tracks in the road. Doesn't look like anything's fresh or recent. There's some weeds growing up, but it's not a paved road that you're on any longer. It's all just repeat driven over road rather than any even type of dirt road laid out. You're not sure how the motherboard has this in GPS because you're clearly not on a road, but she's giving you all the directions you could possibly need. You roll up outside a very bright yellow cabin. It's got a sliding door on one side and what appears to be a front door. Very unassuming. Has a deck on it that has no railings. And you're just kind of looking at it. And you, like, Larkspur, you reach out to Motherboard and are like, are you sure? This is just a cabin.
It's also bright yellow. Who paints it? Why is sunshine yellow? It's not even sunshine yellow. It's more like blinding yellow in face. Why?
Hear me out. We drive the car into the cabin.
But I thought we weren't supposed to damage the pottery.
It's only one pot we're after. What are the odds we're gonna damage that one?
I don't know. I don't know how many pots are in there.
Can Larkspur try to or query the motherboard on any info she has on the location?
Yeah, you reach out back to the motherboard and she lets you know the cabin is a face. You need to get beneath it. And other than that, not a whole lot of information. It's the cabin that you're seeing is meant to be unassuming. No one's supposed to know that there is in fact a vault here. So,
except they painted it bright yellow.
Bright yellow.
Bright freaking yellow.
Look, you
Trying to
guys.
give it a facelift.
My grandpa's cabin is a bright yellow and has a deck that's really shoddy and a sliding door and a front door. So, but it's very bright yellow. You can see it.
And we're about to destroy it.
Just watch. Crap.
So our
T-Bone
purple
just
vehicle-
drive the car right over.
Our purple vehicle is parked in front near a yellow cabin. Perfect.
This could be on a postcard. It looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
You see something bright and red in the background.
Okay. All right. I don't know what we should do. Should I try to sweep for signal? Wi-Fi?
You're looking
Anything?
for some Wi-Fi's? You're able to flip open your phone because that's what we're using here. And not a lot of cellular data even where you're at, but you're not seeing any like available networks or anything of that nature up here. The only source of electricity that you see coming in is like just a couple wires that are on like electrical posts. So there is electricity available here, but you're not seeing anything by way of like satellite dish or by anything like that.
No snip. Snips the wire.
I mean, if you wanted to go snip a wire that contains all the electricity that a high security vault would need.
It's fine.
Go
I'll
for
blow
it.
through it.
I don't know. Allison, do you or Spade, any ideas? I could snip, but I don't know if that's not a good idea.
I mean, I could try to find a sneakier way in.
Could try to case the
Use
place.
escape artists early, or we could just we could leave it up to maybe a roll first. I don't really know. Yeah. I don't know. I think, casing from a distance is probably the thing that we should do first.
Okay. Mask on then.
Masks on.
All right.
Masks go back on in your mask montage.
A creepy gold mask matches the cabin.
Yes. Do any of your masks change? For
Yeah.
both of you.
Allison is not wearing an Oprah mask because, everybody saw Oprah. So she has a lot of celebrity ones, so she gets a Beyonce mask.
Beyonce?
Yes, why
That,
not?
that meme. Oh, it's so good. This is good. This is very good.
Beyonce is entering the building. So as you all kind of like walk around, I'm gonna have our specters, who are professionals at casing places, both roll for me.
Okay.
To see if you guys see any traps on the outside and a way in. So to see if this area is trapped, I'm going to have we'll have Allison roll for traps as our escape artist looks for a way in.
Okay. Doop doop. Doop doop. Oh, what was the difficulty on this?
We're gonna say for traps, looking for traps, it's going to be a difficulty 3 or higher, because there isn't a lot that could be out here, but you do know that there could be like tripwires or thing like that. So you'd want your heat to be 3 or higher. You also want your cool to be 3 or higher. And then for looking for a way in, I'm going to say it's a 2 or higher. You are looking for an entrance.
So my cool is a 4 and my heat is a 6.
Good.
All right.
Good rolls. So you do, like, you're able to point out as you're walking through, like, look out, tripwire there. And as you start to see kind of these traps on the outside, you're like, oh, this is a place where people are definitely, like, making sure that there's more than just, like, a little animal trap. This is no longer a cabin in your mind. You're like, they worked hard on this, but you're able to just pinpoint where people should step and safely get people to the entrance.
Yeah, now all the good rolls are happening. So my cool were 2 and a 5, and my heat were both 5s.
Woo! You're able to find that entrance, and as you're starting to case around the outside, you can not only pick out the entrance, but you also see that, like, between the front door and sliding door, if you needed to carry something large out, you have that option. It looks like the sliding door could actually be lifted up and could be a secret type of garage door concealed to look like a sliding door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. Yeah, I'll tell the rest of the group about that. Yeah, that looks like something that you just run into if you forgot to open it back up. But no, we could definitely back with Gar into this.
That's basically what I said. Mine is, a little bit more property damage,
Yeah,
for sure.
that's a little extra layer of sophistication there. But yes, absolutely.
Instead of a car-shaped hole, we open the hole first and then we put the car in.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
exactly.
Just don't forget about where the traps are.
Yeah, Larkspur, with the guidance of Allison, is able to back the car up in a way that's definitely more convenient for when you do attempt to leave. It's not right next to it because that would set off some traps, but it is close enough that it'll make it a little bit easier on your exit. Now, before you go inside, Spade, as you're kind of casing the place, and T-Bone, as you're watching to make sure no one's coming, and if they are, they're gonna meet your fists. You look inside, and it looks to be a 1-bedroom cabin. There's a pull-out couch, kind of falling apart dining room table, a bedroom in the back, bathroom, but there does appear to be a hatch to go down, and you're not really sure where that leads to, but you can clearly see, as you're looking inside, a way down and a way into the vault. Doesn't appear to be anyone inside.
You said there wasn't any recent tracks.
Correct. No recent tracks up to the cabin in the woods.
So either someone is hiding down there like Parasite, or it's clear.
Yoink.
Yeah, I guess
New
just
taser.
keep an eye out while we're going in here. It just seems a little too easy, a little too quiet. Just keep an eye out.
What? I think there's ghosts.
Yes.
I mean, there's 2 specters right here, but
Okay.
that's a bad joke. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's,
Are there ghosts? The specters look at each other.
You guys. Okay, fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
all right. I guess we go on in.
All right, so
Uncharacteristic of me, but should we knock on the hatch?
you're inside the cabin looking down. The cabin door was open.
Oh,
Also kind of weird.
Oh, gross.
But you all just kind of open the door. It's a very loud screen door as you pull it open. And the door just opens.
Are there any computers around?
In this cabin? No. There
Okay.
is an old radio that is plugged in. There's a record player. There's a loud refrigerator running with a TV that has like the 2 actual antennas sticking out the top of it. Very boxish. Has fake wood paneling on the side.
Old school style, like.
Mm-hmm. Like someone built this cabin in the 80s and called it good.
Okay. Poke, poke, poke. Do we go down now?
Are you going to knock on the hatch?
I'm gonna open the fridge.
Inside the fridge are 2 wheels of Baby Bell cheese. You're not sure when they were put in there.
Stink someone out.
Other than that, there is a couple bottles of water, and the freezer is empty aside from a few bug carcasses.
okay.
Some flies and stuff like that. That may have flown in there when someone was pulling stuff out and were shut in there and froze to death.
We already stopped to eat. We don't need anything out of the fridge.
Oh no.
Oh, you can tell a lot. You can tell a lot about what's going
Could
on in
be
the house
some
if you look in the
moonshine.
fridge. Yeah.
I
Stinky
was looking for
cheese.
moonshine. I'm gonna take the water.
Got a bottle of water.
We have water in the car.
It's
Like,
fine.
but stinky cheese and grease. What if we need the grease? It's okay, whatever. Actually, at this point, like Larkspur is just like, wait, actually, I don't like the smell. Never mind.
Shut it.
Can we go now?
A question, is there a stove?
There is a stove. It appears to be a gas stove. There's not a microwave. There is a toaster oven.
They upgraded.
Yeah,
Is the stove hooked up? Is the stove connected?
connected to
Gas.
gas. Yes. Yep. You
Okay,
click
I'm
it
going
on.
to-
You're able to smell it.
I want to turn it on.
Stove is on and running. The oven. There is no oven in this stove. It's just the stove top.
Yeah.
So there's no like oven beneath it.
Well, I'm not turning it all the way. I'm turning it so that it clicks and you smell the gas, but it doesn't light up.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we're gonna blow it up. Yeah.
That we are. Oh my god, we're already starting that. Okay.
All right. We're gonna
Well,
start
God
leaking
stays on
some
my
gas.
side.
We're all pyros and like pyromaniacs apparently.
All right. Well,
Arson,
we need
Please
Arson.
don't explode my grandpa's house.
Arson, arson.
You put the stove there and you led us to it.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted, right?
You wanted this.
Poke, 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 poke. Are we going down now?
It's
we
okay,
should
Beyonce
before we
will
inhale
have another
a bunch of
cabin.
gas.
Like, are we gonna be okay with all this gas? Well, let's just go. Can we? Boop, boop,
We
boop.
have a little bit of time before it'll like make us sick.
Fine.
So, as we get ready to descend down the stairs, do you knock on the door, T-Bone? You mentioned not wanting to knock on the hatch door.
Yeah, we'll just do a little shave and a haircut.
Just knock, knock, knock. Press your ear to it. You're able to hear some noise downstairs. And that's where we're going to go to break real quick for just like 10 minutes-ish. We're going to stretch, dance it out, and we are going to see how these four do in their second heist of the day. And if they can get out of here before they gas themselves.
Yeah. We
So,
cause our own problems here.
Hang out, come back in a minute or 10 minutes. Gonna run an ad, gonna run to the bathroom. See you soon. We're back. Last we left off before the break, our hammer had their head pressed against the ground and was able to hear some sounds after they tapped on the door. What sounds you do hear are the sounds of electrical whirring, kind of that weird noise in the background of movies once they like throw the flour in the air and you can see the dust settle amongst the laser lines. The sound that lasers make, because apparently lasers make sound. So you get a little bit of inkling that you don't know if you hear a person down there, but there's definitely something potentially on the other side of this door. You're not going into an area where nothing is happening. It is not the void beyond this door. There is something is up.
All right, ready to party? Just gonna
Sure. Let's go.
open the hatch. Open the hatch.
All right. As you open the hatch, you look down onto a kind of rickety staircase into darkness. There is no light ahead of you. You see a couple steps and then nothing. Spooky.
All right.
Spooky.
Do I need to search for a flashlight?
Did any of you bring a flashlight?
Pulls one out from like the depths of cargo pants. Click. Shakes a little bit. Here's a flashlight. Starts like pulling out like glow sticks. I have glow sticks too for some
For a
reason.
rave that you're going to
Yeah.
after this. That feels like something a tech would do. EDM music just playing constantly. So you point the flashlight down the stairs. You see the base of the stairs. Nice black carpeted floor. It appears that the walls are also carpeted in this matte black, and everything kind of has like that felt cloth-like sheen to it. Stairs are wooden, but everything else seems to be as if it were a set piece from essentially a haunted house. Trying to make there be no real difference between the walls, the floor, and any type of spatial awareness.
I don't like this.
Spook. Okay. We're gonna do rock, paper, scissors. Who goes first?
I call last, please.
Nose goes.
I'll go on in. Spade just walks in.
All right, Spade, as you walk down, I'm going to have you roll for me to see if you can notice any traps on your way in, and potentially, if there are any ways to disarm them.
Okay.
Since you are completely unfamiliar with this place, and you're not really worried about it. You're a big fan of horror movies, don't really care too much about it. You're just like, I am usually the ghost. I am usually the person that people are nervous about. So you're not typically easily that put off especially doing these types of heists, but you're sitting here now going, what the heck is going on? As you start to like look down and you're like, this isn't right. I'm going to set it as you need to roll 5 or 6 to be able to find traps in this very unfamiliar area.
Okay. I have 2 chances for this. Ah, no, come back. Okay, you know what? We're not going to worry about that one. Okay. That was 1-5. The other one was a 1. Now I have to roll heat. I'm scared.
So you want a 5 or a 6?
Yep, nope, 2 and a 4.
2 and a 4. You step down and you start to hear the electrical whirring sound. You're like, okay, I can pinpoint where this is. And you can see just in the dust that's kind of trickling down from the cabin as it's starting to settle, the faintest shimmer of a green light going across. And you're like, okay, this step is trapped. And so you know to step over that one. And you kind of get the idea of like, oh, like I'll use dust to find these lasers. So you just kind of, as you start to walk down this hatch, just scoop the floor as you're passing it to go down and just pour the dust down. However, as you're starting to descend, you feel just a little bit lightheaded as the gas from upstairs starts to like impact your senses just a little bit. And you take a little bit of a stumble and you know, or you feel like your toe might have hit one of those lasers that you've been carefully trying to avoid. But for the rest of you, you guys now see the lasers as they stretch across kind of it's not every other step. It mixes itself up. So sometimes you have to step down 2 steps. Sometimes it's you step on this half of the step because this side of the step is lasered. And you can kind of see the pattern of how you need to go down. All right. And since you had those 2 failures on the heat, sorry, are you adding threat or are you taking that heat yourself?
I'll do 1 and 1.
Okay. Excellent.
It's because I do kind of want to keep my cool die for this this advance I just took.
It is nice. So you continue down the stairs. Everyone is able to safely make it behind you. Everything in this room, as you get to the bottom of the steps, is just that black carpet. You're not really sure like where it ends or what shadow. Do any of you look for a source of light while you're down here? Or are you just going with flashlights and glow sticks?
T-Bone's afraid of the dark.
Fair enough. Yeah,
We all have our
we can turn the
weaknesses.
lights on.
I'm gonna feel for a light switch, but I'm feeling like this.
As you feel around looking for a light switch, you don't find one. I'm going to let's have T-Bone roll real quick for me. I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but I need you to roll a 4 or higher. No heat for this one.
Okay. 4-1.
4 and 1. So you got the 4. As you do, you're not feeling a light switch, but your hand kind of goes across, and you feel an area that kind of gives as you realize, oh, that's not just carpet. Some of these walls are curtains. And you're able to kind of find the edge of the curtain.
I hate it. Hello, friends. I found a curtain. Can I get a flashlight and someone else do a peek? Because I'm sure it's dark in there.
pokes Allison. Do you want to take a look? I don't want to be here in the dark.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
All right. As you are pointed to the curtain by T-Bone, you go to move it, and this curtain feels heavy, as opposed to like just one that would be in front of the window. And as you go to move it, soft bits of light start to trickle back towards you. And you can pull it back to see a very warmly lit room that appears to be filled with a bunch of different pieces of pottery. And as you kind of look into it, you can hear just the faintest scurry of sound across the room from you.
Can I see what it was?
You get the impression that you'd have to go into the room in order to be able to see what it is, rather than standing here by the curtain.
Are there any lasers like showing up by the curtain?
Let's make a roll for it.
Okay.
Since there isn't the helpful aid of dust, and this is a room that already has light that combats light, we're going to make it just a little bit harder. You're going to need to roll a 5 or a 6 to specifically find laser traps within this room.
Okay. Roll both of my dice, right?
Yes. Yep. Roll. You're only at 1 cool die right now. So let's roll the cool die first, and then we'll roll the heat die. Do you want to use a prep for this? You've got
Yes.
6 remaining.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The first was a 3.
Okay. So you're not able to make out any lasers in the room ahead of you. Let's roll the heat dice.
I didn't roll the prep die.
Oh, okay. Then roll the prep die.
Okay. 6.
6. That's a success. As you look around the room, you're pretty confident there aren't any lasers in this room.
Okay. Now the
Or at
heat.
least none in the walking paths.
I got 1 for heat.
The scent of gas starts to fill the stairwell behind you as the trap you laid for your escape slowly starts to become just very suffocating in this little area of like the curtained off back to upstairs. So every area behind you still smells very heavily of gas now.
Okay. Then
Starting
I'm
to
just,
get that like canary in the mind feeling.
well, I'm just going to go into the curtain area.
All right. As you step through, you look around, and you're not seeing what that scurrying sound was before. But you do see a room full of pottery.
T-Bone is going to try and just rip the curtain down so it fills up the area we are in with a little bit more light.
Yeah, let's roll for it. You're going to rip the curtain down. It's not going to be too hard to rip it down. Going to say you need to roll 2 or higher.
I got a 1 and a 3.
Okay.
Okay, so you rip like half of it down. You get a good chunk of it down, so light is flowing through. Now, if you want to roll the heat die for me.
I got a 2.
A 2?
Mm-hmm.
You are actually kind of grateful that there's also some some crusty air that is not filled with gas that comes back towards you. Do any of you have a history in, and you can make this up, any of you have a history in like artifacts or preserving things for long periods of time? Like any type of like art preservation, artifact preservation? Would any of you be able to say that you have a history within that? Larkspur says no.
Larkspur's just like, I
Don't-
spent all my time at a desk.
I think maybe Allison worked at a museum for a summer.
Then
Yeah.
pretty common knowledge amongst the museum industry is that you try to keep as little oxygen as possible, like new, fresh oxygen around artifacts, just because oxidization will slowly start to deteriorate things over time. So this heavy curtain, like as you like pull it back, it is real crusty air behind it. There has been limited oxygen coming in and out, as this has served as like a preservation wall, storing all of these pots underground. As you look around the room, there is Japanese pots from the 13th century. There's Greco-Roman pieces from well before Christianity even started taking off. You see things that are depictions of gods, depictions of what looks like pieces of those depicting an ancient war that you're not familiar with. You see different pieces of Native American art with different types of drawings, as well as the swirls that you can find in repeats. And you're just kind of like looking around the room and realizing, like, what is this stuff doing here? This should be something that's documented at least. But imagine a very well-organized hoarder of ancient artifacts. Indiana Jones would scream if he saw this room. The one that you are supposed to retrieve is not a typical pot. It's the size of an umbrella stand, and it is white with blue depictions of a phoenix. So it's a white ceramic, blue depictions of a phoenix, and they make special note that it is cracked throughout, intentionally so, because then it's resealed to show that something that is cracked actually is reformed as something stronger with the way it has been sealed. Looking around, I'm going to have... Actually, no. Are you all just going to go start grabbing pots? Are you going to look around the room for anything unique? Are you going to try to find the source of the scurrying?
Larkspur's not interested in the other pots, so she's gonna be like, okay, there was heard a sound. Where is it? Please tell me there's no ghosts.
Because of how well organized it is, it's pretty easy to spot where it is. It's essentially on a wall that has a grid of shelves, similar to like a giant form of an IKEA calyx. And there's different pieces of art, and it's just situated by itself.
T-Bone's looking around. I'm not saying I'm taking anything else. They're just looking, just browsing.
Motherboard
Window
did
shopping.
say that you could take whatever you like if you want to while you're down here. She didn't suggest it. She didn't say don't touch anything. She just said, this is what I want. If you need other payment, take whatever you will.
Does it look like it's like one of those things that if they move the pottery off of there, it'll be like a giant death ball coming down?
Are you looking for pressure plates?
Yes, pressure plates.
Let's make a roll for it. See if you can find some pressure plates in this room. Since you kind of have an idea of like specifically what those would look like, as someone who has been in museums before and knows that this is definitely a way that they would do that, I'm going to say you need to roll 3 or higher. So the odds are in your favor, but still a little bit challenging.
2.
2.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell. You're just kind of struck and in awe of this room around you. I do need you to roll that heat die for me.
Come on.
Or
Yeah,
four.
okay.
Oh,
Hey, y'all have had some real successful heat rolls. There isn't the sense that this room is filling too quickly with gas. So you're like, okay, like we've got our time limits, we've got a hard out, but you're not sure if there are pressure plates.
We have that
in this
decoy.
room.
Yeah.
You were sent with a decoy.
So can I quickly swap it out?
Yeah, I'm going to say you have the ability to swap it out. This is going to be more challenging unless someone else is willing to help you. I would say that this is like one of those times where you could use the help action, which isn't listed in here, but we're going to treat it similarly to Durnards and Durgans, and basically you'll just re-roll one of your die if you have a friend aiding you, or if this is something that you're trying to like sneakily do by yourself.
No, Beyonce Allison is asking for help.
Okay. Yeah, I think that it would make sense for the two specters to kind of sleight of hand this. So yeah, I'm only help.
All right. So we'll have you roll. It's maybe something that you want to prep die with too.
Yeah.
Just because I'm going to
definitely.
say that it is a 5 or a 6 to roll this without, or with truly believing that if there is a pressure plate here that you didn't notice, you won't set it off. So 5 or 6 is what you need to be successful.
I only have one, so I'm gonna have to roll it again.
Okay. So
6.
6. Excellent success. I'll have you roll the other one, just because if there is a failure there, you are successful, but
Okay, so the heat die or just the other?
I'll have you roll your prep die and then we'll roll the heat die.
Okay.
And the heat die will
5.
be the gas. 5. Success, heckin' successful. So you two are working together. It's just whoop.
And the heat die, 2.
2. Okay, it's getting hard to breathe down here. The gas is starting to fill up this room. And then you start to hear a small rumbling. You're not sure what it is from down here, but you see just a little bit of dust shift and fall off a shelf.
Okay, so we get this switch, we grab what we want, and we get out of here. Let's go. Let's go
We
now.
need to leave.
Are you grabbing anything else from in here, or are you just taking the one and going?
Spade's happy with just the one because the mission's the mission. I'm fine with
Larkspur's looking kind of jumpy right now. Can we go, please?
I took something.
We love it.
Roll for me. This is actually going to be, I want you to roll. There's not going to be heat for the, no, there's going to be heat. Just kidding. I'm going to have you roll DC 5 to 6. Or you need to roll a 5 or a 6.
I got 2 ones.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Thank you. Yes. So you're like, oh, this one looks nice, and you just lift it up, and as you do, you look down and you think you see the shelf kind of move up a little bit, as it was definitely resting on a pressure plate. And then that scurrying sound that you heard before.
Does it
Please
matter
tell
if
me
I
it's
rolled a
not
5 heat?
Yeah, that helps with the gas. There's not an increase of gas coming into the room, so that is good.
Okay.
You're not going to faint trying to leave right now. But the scurrying sound that you heard before, you notice as a small metallic beetle crawls up,
It's the mummy.
and it appears to look up at you with LED eyes. And then across the room, Larkspur, next to you, another beetle pops up, looks around with its LED green eyes. And you start to hear a little bit of whirring inside the beetles as these two are facing and 2 lasers boom, cross the room to connect at the center. And fortunately, because of the heat, roll of 5, you get the sense that these are heated lasers, and it's going to be real hot to touch these ones. Whereas before, it was kind of like, as our Specter knows, there was no pain felt when their toe hit a laser. You're getting the sense that these are the kind of lasers that disintegrate people.
Fun.
And you just see these beetles start to move together to kind of circular saw the room with a laser. What do you do?
I'm a jump rope champ.
Yeah,
from
quick on your
1993.
feet, guys. Spade is willing to escape artist this if she can. Let's prize finding an immediate and accessible entrance or exit just to like kind of acrobatics her way past this.
Yeah, the only way out is the way you came in.
All right.
There is no other form of entrance or exit. So you're able to Houdini flip over the lasers that are currently cutting across the room. And the room is situated in a way where these beetles know kind of where not to zap. So briefly, as they get close to one of the pieces of pottery in the room, their eyes turn off. Which is when you're like, I'm taking my move. I'm flipping out of here.
Use the
You
pedestals.
start going. Right? It's a good idea. Use the pedestals.
So do I notice that?
Yeah, you all in the room notice that, especially our Specters.
So can I Beyonce my way on the pedestals?
Yes. Yep, I'm gonna say because it's Beyonce, easily. You have the dance moves for this. You were ready. Similar to your friend who's an escape artist who just kind of like somersaulted their way out of here and then ended in a backflip, like straight off the ground to get out of here. You're like, I know a cool way. I can be flashy too. And you dance your way around these zappy zap beetles. Larkspur, T-Bone. How are you gonna get past these beetles?
How close are we to like the beetles?
T-Bone is right next to one. So as it starts to like skirt, you have to like actively move to dance around it. Larkspur, you were close, probably about 5 feet or so away when you saw it come up, and you instantly were like, nope.
But like it's overhead, right?
One is down towards the floor and one's up higher. They're kind of like circle sawing the room at a diagonal, so that way they could get anyone that's in it. But they are moving pretty quickly.
Okay. Taser?
Gonna tase a beetle?
I also have duct tape.
Just duct tape the beetle in place so only one half of the laser goes. I kind of love that.
I have a taser and I have duct tape.
Yeah, which do you decide to use? You do know that there is gas free floating around this basement.
Yeah, let's like Larkspur like thinks about it, is like taser. Wait a second, that's gonna spark something. Just like hastily like shoves it back into her cargo pants. Is like, let's not do that. And then like rips out like a like this like you know like those really big rolls of duct tape, and just just puts a whole like lays it so that it's facing like, you know, like you roll it like both ways, right?
Mhm.
Like tries to like calculate like, okay, like what's the trajectory of the bugs, right? And then just lays it so that when it like walks onto it, it will hopefully stick.
A sticky trap. Yeah, let's roll for it. Because of how thoughtful this is, I'm gonna give you a +1 to your cool roll. I just think that was a really fun way to describe it. So, it's going to be a 4 or higher. You do get a +1 to one of your cool rolls. So if one of your cools is a 3, cool. You can bump that up to a 4. So 4 or higher on your cool rolls, and you will still have heat on this.
Okay. First one. Please work. That's a 6.
6, successful.
We're gonna roll the other one. Hopefully it catches both beetles, I guess. How did I get a 6 again?
Witchcraft. But use it.
Don't
All right,
question
and
it.
then we'll have you roll your heat die.
This is gonna fail epically. I'm gonna cry a little bit.
As long as it's a 4 or higher. Or you could do a +1 to make it higher too.
It's a 3, so...
It's a 3, so turn that into a 4. As you're laying down the tape and taking the time, you take a big whiff of gas, and you start to feel yourself get lightheaded, and you're just like, oh, like, I cannot be in this house anymore, but you're still trying to lay this trap so that way you can get T-Bone out of here too. Lays it down. It's... At first, you're like, oh no, it's not going to stick, because the metallic legs are able to pierce through the duct tape. And then it snags. And then it trips and kind of falls on its back into the duct tape, where its legs attempt to move back. Some of them move back to the other side of the body, but the other two are stuck. And it eventually starts to roll itself up in the tape as it's going, like, trying to get out of it. It gets worse and worse and worse as it goes down. The lasers get kind of erratic. It looked like they were pre-programmed to, like, turn off and on when they got to a pedestal, but you watch as a laser just beams one of the pieces of pottery and it just shatters as this beetle is just kind of flopping around, on occasion turning off as it would to protect a pedestal, only to turn back on and beam another piece of pottery. The other beetle seems to start freaking out as it's not sure where its connection point is going. And they're used to meeting each other as part of their programming. So it starts to erratically move, but it gives you and T-Bone an opportunity to get out of here.
You run.
Book it! Book it!
And
book it.
we take it.
Yay! Are you being careful going up the stairs, or are you just running?
I mean,
Carry me, T-Bone! I do athletic.
I'm going to carry Larkspur up the stairs as gracefully as possible.
All right. To carry Larkspur, we're going to have you, especially because Larkspur is very dizzy now from all the gas that they've been inhaling, from kind of starting to hyperventilate about being in this space. We're going to have you roll to see if you can get up the stairs without activating any more of the lasers that were on the
where
steps.
are we on prep?
You're good on prep. You've got...
Okay.
Oop, I forgot to delete one. You have 3 currently in the pool.
That doesn't sound good. I want to take a...
If you want to metagame it, we've got about 13 minutes left in playtime.
Okay, I'm going to take a prep. It's happening. Oh, shit. All right, we got 2 5s and a 4 for cool.
Hell yeah.
Here comes
So you're
Vicky.
able to just tiptoe your way up the stairs with Larkspur in your arms, slowly becoming more and more faint, getting a little drooly as they talk.
It's this the gracefulness comes from all of those. I watched Beyonce videos, so I'm trying really hard.
Try hard to impress Beyonce as you run up the stairs.
I got a 4 on the heat.
All right, good. Meets it, beats it. So, you don't tap any other lasers as you gracefully dance your way up the stairs. And as you get to the top, Beyonce is just like, damn.
I learned from you.
You can star in my next video.
Oh my god.
I think the gas is making us think she's actually Beyonce.
Yeah.
Look, am I hallucinating? Is that Beyonce up there?
Beyonce? Oh my god.
Beyonce?
I can be
You know-
Michelle.
You know, Corndogg.
I understand meme culture. As you get up, you are now back in the main level of the cabin. Allison and Spade, you were upstairs waiting for these two to be able to get up here and join you. I want you both to roll for me. A
Okay.
DC of 3.
Okay.
Because this is an area where there's nothing around. So if you were looking out the windows, trying to see if anything was coming, it'd be pretty easy.
Okay. 1, 2 5s for cool. After all heat. A 3, a 4, and a 5 for okay. Oh my god.
All right, and as you're looking out, Allison, what do you see?
I got a 6 for cool,
All right.
and my red dice is a 2.
All right, so you're able to look out and you see what appears to be a very large truck headed your way. Spade, you think back and you're like, a fucking laser. Thinking back to when it first was tipped by your toe. You're like, oh shit, someone's coming. And then you look a little bit closer and you see someone in the back of the truck standing up with what appears to be a small machine gun.
Oh, great.
Approaching the house at very, very fast speeds.
Okay. Great.
Vroom, vroom.
Get in the
crap.
car.
Oh my
Get in the car.
Okay, yeah. I was like, guys, we gotta go. And she does have a silenced pistol and is just going to be covering the exit door so people can get to the exit vehicle first, and she'll just jump on in. We'll be on our way.
All right, so you guys make your way to the car that was fortunately parked pretty close to the house, as close as you could get. I am going to have you roll, though, as you are running out in bits of haze, a little bit high from all those fumes getting into your brain, to see if you can avoid any of the traps that were set. So,
All of us?
yes.
Lark still being carried?
Lark doesn't have to. That's
Like a
right.
sweet baby.
Unless something terrible happens to T-Bone.
Right.
But
Oh no.
it'll be a maybe roll. So I want you to roll 5 or higher to see if you can safely make it out to the car without setting off any traps. So when you're ready, everyone roll your cool dice first. Except for Lark, because you're currently in someone's arms.
How many cool dice do you guys have right now?
2.
2 of them? Okay.
How
I
many?
also have 2, so it's like I was thinking about taking a prep die for this, but
Well, how do
We have 2 prep die remaining in the pool.
exactly. So depending on if you guys want to take it high or not.
I got it.
You got it?
I
Okay.
believe in T-Bone.
Believe in T-Bone to carry me to safety.
All right. I will take one of those 2 prep die just in case.
Okay.
Blah. And none of them helped.
no?
I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3.
I got a 5 and a 2.
5 and a 2. Okay, so we have 1 success.
Oof.
And then
Come
we'll have
on,
Allison's
help me.
rolls when you're ready.
I don't want to.
Tragic.
I got a 2.
I love this. I love this journey for you. So as you guys all start to make your way out, T-Bone is just expertly stepping over the traps from earlier, just avoiding all of them, carrying Larkspur to safety. Stumbles a little bit, rolls their ankle, but doesn't actually hit any traps as they get through it. It's definitely uncomfy as you run your way to the car, and then you just kind of chuck Larkspur in, look back at the other 2, who you know are super good at getting through traps. You usually make them go first because they're so good at it. And they are just in fumes brain, where they cannot, they're not really seeing too well. For the most part, you're starting to realize, T-Bone, that you are the one with the best constitution and are least affected by all of this gas that is just poured over you all.
Nothing up here.
I'm also ready to shoot out a tire, so I'm not focusing.
No, you're watching for the
entirely
tire,
on the track.
making sure that you're staying safe, or staying, not being shot at by the folks that are approaching. As you guys go through, you hit one of those tripwires, and you hear what sounds like a cannon go off, and fortunately are able to just suck it in a little bit as what appears to be an actual freaking cannonball just skirts past, and you watch as it just smashes into the leg of Allison, who's just a bit ahead of you, and just takes her out, causing her to just land in the grass, just completely out. What do you do? Allison, you're not
Beyonce.
unconscious, but you are in significant pain as you're literally-
Beyonce.
Beyonce, her leg is busted.
This game is disrespectful.
Does anybody still want duct tape?
Oh my god.
Can you take
None
my
of this
leg
flex
together?
tape can fix this.
Can you take my leg back together?
Just
To be fair, it was bludgeoning. There's not a whole lot of blood
Exactly.
externally. It's internally, where it's supposed to be.
it's like duct tape pulls out like a prop drumsticks for like a for a really
Bro, we
bad
gotta keep
splint.
going. Like, yeah, like just maybe also just like like dragging. We're just dragging Beyonce
Yes.
at this point. Just
You
trying
start
to leave.
dragging Allison, and you're just like, oh no, she'll never be able to dance again. And you just start like pulling her towards T-Bone and towards Larkspur in the car. You're able to get to the car. However, as you do, T-Bone, you're starting the car, getting it ready to go as the only one coherent enough to drive. You start to hear the machine gun just whirring, and you're just hearing pop, 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 pop as bullets start flying towards you.
Well,
I'm gonna need you to be the getaway driver and to see if you can roll past this. Now, Spade, since you did bring out your silenced gun, I will say that you can help T-Bone in this instance if you're trying to
Fire
shoot
him.
down the person with the machine gun, or if you're trying to shoot the driver or something of that
Or
nature.
at least shoot out
Or
a
blow out the
tire.
tires.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to like make it swerve and go the opposite way or something if possible.
Heck yeah. So, shooting out tires, I'm going to say that that's a lot easier of a target to hit than a driver you can't really see.
Mhm.
3 or above. It's still
Okay.
hard because it's moving real fast and you're high, but
You
it's
know.
not stupid challenging. And then if she's successful, that'll help with,
Okay.
or if they're successful,
I'm
that'll
gonna
help with
bag
the roll.
them.
Bag them? Oh, that's right.
We're gonna bag them.
Oh,
Excellent use of a playbook move. Hammer, could you please read your playbook move one more time for our friends at home?
Once per heist, you can declare a target that you have the drop on as dead or incapacitated without needing a roll.
All right. So, as you start to line up, Spade, your lovely friend T-Bone gives you specific directions as to where to shoot to blow out the tire that, as they're coming around this turn, will cause the truck to flip. So going for that outside tire as they start to turn in, you just line it up. And because of that, we're going to make this a Spade roll. It's going to be a 3 or above to hit. And if this is successful, you guys remove the heat.
oh, okay. I still have 2 cool dice because our threat didn't get too high.
And then there is
what?
1 prep die remaining in the pool.
All right, well, I got a 3 and a 6 anyway. So
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you line it up, you take that breath of cool, fresh country air, and you finally get some of those fumes out of your brain to take the perfect shot, and you guys watch as this truck goes basically ass over tea kettle into the woods, the machine gun technician just flying off of it. You just hear it rolling down a hill in the distance as you take off into the night.
Mountain Mama, take us home. Country road.
And as you start to go by, I imagine, T-Bone, you might want to play a song for your departure.
First of all, I would like to shoot behind us because I'm blowing up that house. It's full of gas. I'm not just going to leave that opportunity. And as that's
I have a
happening,
taser!
you hit the horn and splish splash
Splish splash, bitch.
takes us out of the woods.
Splash, splash, I was taking a... just smoke.
What have I
Big
done?
flames. You think about it as you're driving past, like, oh, there's a lot of tall grass there. Oops. But you drive off. You drive off anyways, knowing full well you just set off an explosion at this cabin in the woods. Maybe started a forest fire. It's fine. We'll find out about it in the news later on. In the process, destroying millennia of priceless artifacts. Just everything that you saw will never again be seen by humankind.
Oopsie daisy.
Well, nothing's permanent. And they probably shouldn't have built their cabin in the middle of the woods, so it's not our fault.
Wise words from Allison, aka Oprah, aka Beyonce. All right. You drive off. You get a message from Motherboard. Congratulations. Come on home. There are drinks waiting for you. And you drive back to the speakeasy, off into a very dimly lit night. But bright stars you normally don't get to see in the town. So that's pretty neat. Anyone else have anything they do as you guys leave, or any final words you would say to your party members?
Well, I'm going to put on a show because I'm Beyonce.
Shot.
Like, I'll drink to that.
Now.
Everybody.
I
Love
found
it.
in her bag the realistic mask of Michelle and Kelly, and I just cut them down
Yes.
the middle. Both.
Yes, we are performing.
It's just gonna be a beautiful show as you all drive off into the night. Splish splash, occasionally just coming on as you experience some of the Hammer's road rage, which is kind of like, as the Hammer, you're sitting there trying to just get people out of your way, and Splish Splash comes on, then you start bopping with people, driving down the side of the roads, vigor guns are exchanged. Beyonce is performing. Some texts appear on Larkspur's screen about Beyonce being on this country road, performing out the side of this vehicle. And Spade, you're able to kind of keep an eye on the road behind you, making sure no one's following you, and you're pretty sure you're safe as you all make your way back to the speakeasy to have a drink with the Grand Motherboard. And that's where we will leave our adventurers, is just vibing out at the speakeasy.
Is there like do we see it, like, is there like a glow of flames because of the fire?
yeah.
started?
Yep. You all, over the course of the next week or so, there are tales of this wildfire that has become far too extreme. There's town evacuations. There's no one dies because the Hammer never kills anyone, even in accidental wildfires. But there is a lot of damage in the area. However, it will cause a lot of plant life to grow anew. It might have been good for a control burn to happen here. It's important. So,
Not our fault.
not your fault. Plant shouldn't have been that close to the cabin in the woods. Sounds
All
like,
the glow sticks.
yeah, all the glow stick rave for Beyonce. I have loved every bit of this. I do want to give us some time, though, to just chat as a group, chat on stream, decompress from heisting, and just kind of chill for about 15-ish minutes or so that way we can let Heck get ready for the next panel,
Yeah.
which is in an hour from now, about?
Yeah, it's in an hour from now.
So, keep hanging out with us, friends. We're going to chat for a little
Yeah.
bit. And also come back in an hour if you leave right now for a break.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about animals and TTRPGs, and I'm happy about it.
Yay, animals and TTRPGs. More, please.
Like, if you like my random rambles during session about, like, I don't know, random things as they come up, like, that, it's just going to be that for, like, an hour or two. So, be ready.
Random rambles coming up next. But how'd you guys, checking in with you? How'd you think today's session went?
It was great. Like, oh my gosh, it was like we were saying in one of the breaks, you know, we were kind of worried about like not having a face for the party, but like we all just kind of became the face in different ways. It was
We
great.
had 4 faces
Yeah.
for the price of none.
I just love the whole. I couldn't think of a mask, and it was just Oprah.
That played
It was
so
It
inspired.
was so good though. It was
That came.
so
Oprah
good.
came out of the ethereal point and was like, "You will be me, and I will be with you.
Remember who you are.
Remember who you are, Oprah." And then Beyonce. I really appreciated the celebrity realistic faces. So, chat. Before we got ready for this stream, Nikki posted hyper realistic masks in our team chat after our session 0 that we had off stream to get to know each other. And oh my gosh, go look into hyper realistic masks. You'll scar yourself, but imagine Oprah's face, Beyonce's face, any other celebrity you could possibly think of, you can get their face. It's kind of weird, kind of messy, but holy cow, that is definitely odd.
There's definitely like an uncanny valley to them, but
Yeah.
what joy they bring.
What joy. Chat, also, if you have any questions, feel free to shout them out at us. I will do my best to finally read chat that I've only read on breaks. Also, thank you so much, Cleo1C, for gifting all of those subs. We appreciate it immensely.
Thank you all for the bits and donos during the session. It was so great.
Also, Pati, I appreciated that as a hammer, you didn't actually kill anyone.
Yeah.
But, like no, it was used like lethal violence. It was great.
I mean,
I
we did
learned that.
explode a bunch of stuff, though.
I mean,
Nobody was
So, lethal violence against pottery.
yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm
Ankle.
like
Fine.
clearly uncultured because I did destroy all those artifacts and art.
Well, technically, they were stolen,
Mm-hmm.
and probably not where they belonged anyway.
Mhm.
Blame the people who stole them, not the people who
Right.
destroyed them.
Clear, yeah.
You just
Also,
you
who's to
just
say they weren't?
stop. You just stop the colonialism of museums
Yeah.
because somebody would have put it in a museum.
Yeah,
You did a
if
good
they're
thing.
gonna fight over it, nobody gets it. Just-
Right.
Big mom move right there. You're gonna fight, neither of you get it. Oh.
I Solomon babied this whole thing.
Oh no! Ah! Good
That's the right reference. Okay.
I guess I did appreciate the non-lethal use because a lot of this book does talk about ways, like especially in the Hammer playbook, like there are benefits you can get if you kill people, which I personally enjoy a good heist where nobody dies. Big fan. Big fan of like the Ocean's 8 movie, for instance, which was what I used as a reference point for a lot of things today. But how there's other ways to do it rather than just going in and blasting them like they did in The Town or something like that.
Mhm.
So I appreciated
people
that.
in a dumpster.
Yeah, put them in a dumpster where they were safe. So
And
they
smell.
might have smelled like Janice's burnt popcorn from
Dang it,
last week.
Janice.
Dang it, Janice.
Janice.
And your burnt popcorn. But they were safe because of that. So, they do have a little bit, if this were to be a long-term campaign, there are a couple people who kind of could give descriptions of what you look like.
Christ.
For everyone but Oprah. Part of it is concealed because you wore the glasses and things like that, but if this were a long-term campaign, there would be whispers of these criminals. And Oprah.
No, bro. I'm sorry.
But nobody would believe that Oprah would rob a bank.
No. And Oprah can also say that she was in a different place at that time. She's got an alibi.
Exactly.
Then you feed the conspiracy machine.
Oh yeah, and having a tech. Just all the misinformation. Just go on a misinformation campaign. No one knows who actually did anything. Is there anything that you guys really liked about the system? Anything that you found interesting, neat, cool? Kind of vibes on that.
I really liked how kind of failing a heat roll doesn't necessarily mean you just fail it in general, or that something absolutely hard is going to happen. You can I guess they're sort of if you fail it, right, something bad will happen, but you can still kind of maybe talk your way out of it, or think they figure out a way to be hey, well actually it's well, how do I deal with this though?
Yeah, it isn't just you failed, but it's narrative played rather than it being nope, you didn't do it. Tough cookies. Which I appreciated. I'm a big fan of narrative dice-based games where it's not a pass-fail, but a kind of no, but, or a yes, and. So it just kind of keeps it flowing rather than it just being nope, can't do that. Bye. Was one of the things I really enjoyed about this system.
Ooh.
Also, everyone, please look at Lady sleeping in the background on Pati's screen. Does that show up on
good.
stream?
Oh, Hopper.
She's
Good,
that tiny
Papa.
nugget in the bottom left.
Yeah. This is the reason I heist.
Heist. Heist for the dogs.
I got a
Heist
beagle
for the
to feed.
BBs. One of the things I did want to talk about, just because this is a TPK Coven one-shot, is that we did choose an all-Femme stream for this. And I think that kind of, in my opinion, it played into a little bit of how you all work together, but also choosing things that were kind of wiggle your way around it and not necessarily going with full violence, full I'm gonna murder everybody. It didn't feel like a murder hobo stream, which I really appreciate because I've been a part of a lot of murder hobo campaigns. But just kind of how you think you being at the table plays into what the table feels like around you. For me, just to give an example, not always, most of the time I like to kind of fill the gap. I usually like to see what other people are playing first and just kind of fill what's needed rather than I'm really slow to come up with a character. It's very rare that I know what I'm doing until the last minute. And it's usually just kind of basing it off of other people. But kind of what is your play style typically? Because aside from Heck, no one and me, you three are not on TPK streams, or at least not regularly if you've been a part of a TPK one-shots and stuff like that in the past. So
Not yet.
tell everyone, not yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
Fill out that player onboarding form.
Fill out the
please.
player form. Come join us. We will bring you along with us for more heists or other things, because we do more than just steal from people. Yes.
That's
It
all I
wasn't
wanted.
stealing. It was reappropriating.
Yes. The motherboard will have this pot, and no one will have their relics. And then the cash, who knows where the cash is going to?
It's just borrowing indefinitely.
Indefinite borrowing. But let's start with Michelle. Just kind of tell us about you as a player and your play style.
I guess normally I just kind of pick characters that are kind of like me or really way off base like me. So I guess in this case, You know, I don't know. I kind of like. I feel like in this case, I just kind of like had like a brain like idea. I was like, hey, I have 2 ideas that I think might be cool. And then like we talked in chat, and it was like, hey, the nervous new techie seems like a cool idea. Let's just go with that. I don't know. Like I tend to either like last minute do something or like do something like in like or like spit like a bajillion character concepts and then decide based on what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, kind of do like that spitball technique where you put like a bunch of stuff on the board and whatever sticks. Kind of like throwing noodles. Whatever sticks on the wall, that's the done noodle. That's the analogy I use in my brain when I'm trying to do a million things and need to settle on one.
Also personality, but like
Yeah.
I don't know,
Heck.
like
If you have more, go ahead, Michelle.
oh, I was just gonna say like I picked like one personality trait that I think is like good to emphasize, and then after that like things spill from there.
Yeah. Kind of the web where you start in the center and just start to grow out from there. I dig it. Heck, we've seen you on a number of streams, and also Heck is the forever GM of Coven things, it seems like, which is why I invited Heck to be a
for
part
now.
of this stream.
It's been so great to actually
just
play
to-
a Coven thing.
Yay! We got to do it today! But when you're developing your characters or deciding, you can even talk about like how you've decided on like Coven RPGs or things like that too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, at least with a character concept and stuff, like honestly, a lot of the time I start with the art, which is kind of weird. Like I have this basically it's a dress-up game. It's a glorified dress-up game where I can design a character and I'm just like, oh, this looks kind of fun. Like, oh, this scythe is in the shape of a moon. That's really interesting. Let's see what that does. Like just stuff like that. And then I just kind of match, class concepts to it or like something like that. Until like it becomes a character. I've done stuff that way. I've just been like, oh, I haven't played like a warlock before. Let's play this. Like, let's see what's gonna happen. I'm, slowly making my way through all of the bard subclasses because obviously I want to do that. I'm a forever bard. Yeah. It always just varies how I do character stuff. I don't think any two have really been the same, or at least for a while they haven't. But in terms of choosing Coven games, I really like to emphasize playing games that are written by femme identifying people. Because I feel like just for what our Coven is trying to do and create the space, as like including game creators in that space too, I think really sends a message. So not all of them have been. In fact, our second Coven one shot was Honey Heist, which is written by Grant Howitt, obviously. So it's not, a rule that has to be followed or anything. And now there's Hela RPGs. So it's not a rule or anything. It's just something that I like to try to find. But yeah, there are a lot of systems that say the same message, such as Dungeon Bitches, and just really being about female autonomy and just continuing themes about what we face in society and everything. It's just, I don't know, there's a lot out there, more than I ever thought. So it's just been really good.
Hell yeah. If you want to check out some of our other Coven one-shots, check out YouTube. TPK Roleplay.
I don't think we have a Coven command yet, but we have a YouTube command. So our playlist is on there of all our stuff.
Check out our playlist. Next, we're going to go to Nikki. Nikki, how do you, when you start like character concepting and stuff like that, how do you pick and develop from there?
This is going to sound really bad. I just look at what the character is like the sheet, and I just come up with a story.
Oh yeah, I can see that, where you just kind of build off of, especially when it's like 1 or 2 pages like this one is, or like one page folded out.
All I need is a sentence or two, and I just come up with things. I do have some like stock characters, but usually I keep changing them so much they become different characters.
Yeah, I think that's a good lesson in like improv too, where you can be given like just a couple things and you're like, I can build from this.
Yeah, I can build from anything.
Hell yeah, that's an important skill set to have, especially in RPGs.
Yeah, and having kids too.
Yes. And like that's what you need though too, having that good childlike energy, I guess, where like I think we as we get older tend to like figuring out the way we think, and we tend to live in that like track or that realm. I think being surrounded by kids as a mother, like that brings just a different opportunity, but also like you have to be ready to be anyone for them. So yeah, I can see that being a good way to.
Then I add chaos.
Yes. Childlike, chaos. Mix them both. And then just, having that yes and strategy and just build and pull from there.
There has to be chaos. All of my characters are chaotic in some way.
That's true. The first stream I saw Nikki on, I came in and everyone was laughing. So I was like, I need to see what everyone's laughing about. And I fortunately, a clip appeared like a minute and a half later, and I just died because it was chaos stew. It was.
I wish I could tell you what it was, and I have no idea. I
think I can find it, and I can post it in TPK discussions.
Amazing.
For everyone, but it's always when I was picking people, I definitely was like, I want chaotic energy, and after seeing Nikki, I was just like, I know exactly.
Yeah, I kind of do that all the time. You can't have a serious game with me. It can't be like, I can't be in one of those dark, gritty games because I will bring chaos and humor into it, no matter what.
Yeah, someone who typically plays fluffy nuggets, like just little balls of light and happiness. Grit campaigns are hard, man. Oh.
And then you're in Strahd. Okay.
I struggle. It's hard.
You just have somebody make fun of Strahd during the campaign.
That's been one of our MOs. He's not too fond of it. He's not too fond of any of us.
Well, he needs to get over it.
He needs to get over it and get dead. Do you have anything else?
No, I hope I didn't lock myself out of all serious campaigns just now.
Nah. I couldn't watch a serious campaign all the way from start to finish. That would hurt my soul. I need goofy. I need weird. I need some levity at some point. And also, I want to see GM's faces break. I like when a GM just goes, what the fuck did they just say? Yeah, I'm just watching what unfolds when the chaos hits.
That's so easy to do to me as a GM. That's something I need to get better at.
Yeah, I'm running a game.
I just laugh at everything.
I'm running the game right now, and the players are bringing lots of chaos, but I love it, and I just add more. So it's like a big mess right now. It's great.
Excellent. Well, let's get to Pati, so that way we can still give Heck a little bit of time before they have to go out to their next stream. Pati, when you're character creating, what type of vibe do you go with? What kind of characters do you like to make? What's your approach to character making? Things like that.
Well, very serious, very studious, calculating.
Yes, these are all the reasons why I selected you.
All the traits that I portrayed today. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with RPGs, and so the few that I have been a part of, I pick one character trait, which is, I suppose in this case, blow them up. That was my main focus. And then I just do that. In every action and every thought, I'm like, well, this has the potential to explode. Let's go for that. And so I think in the previous ones I've done has been very similar. I'm very anti-magic. I'm just gonna, in everything I say and everything I do, it's gonna be anti-magic. I have a one-track mind, and those are the characters I like to build, or one-track mind type characters.
Heck yeah. Sometimes it's good to have someone who's on a track. It doesn't have to be the track or the plot. Just a track is good.
Mhm.
It creates momentum in some way, shape, or form. I'm just so happy that I got to play with you all. Asking Nikki, I felt like a nervous band kid. I was just like, I've seen you on streams before, but we've never interacted. Can I be your friend? And then asking Michelle, Foxy was just gassing up Michelle and was like, this is who you want in your stream. Because I was like, hey, Foxy, do you know of anyone? And just completely gassed up Michelle. And I was super excited because now I'm also going to be in a campaign with you. Heck, I just needed you to have a break as a forever GM. I was like, Heck needs to just play in the coven. Let Heck play. And Pati was actually brought in because I kept getting jealous of my partner talking about how they got to play in an RPG with her. And I was just like, okay, this sounds like fun. I'm glad you had fun. What about me? What about my fun? I want to play with Pati. And it was like, the world is reopening. There's no time to do anything anymore. So I was just like, I'm going to make this happen. And I am so glad I got to play with you all today. This was so exciting.
It was so fun. Like, even though like we randomized everything, you know, with rolls at the beginning, like it didn't even feel like that, honestly. This felt like a well-prepared one-shot.
I appreciate rules light systems. That makes it a lot easier for it to feel like there was preparation when there was none. I read the book a couple times. That was my preparation. Watched 2 whole streams about Score RPG by Gila RPGs. Just a reminder, this session is brought to you by Gila RPGs. Score. Thank you. But with that, I'm going to let everyone kind of sign off right now. This is the time where if you're in other campaigns or if you're just really proud of something you've done recently, just let chat know. Just let everybody know if you're in other campaigns on other channels where they can find you, if they can find you. And if they can't find you and you're not in other things, just talk about one thing you're really excited about for the week or excited about in life in general. I'm Corndogg McGraw. You can find me here during module week most of the time. Except for this week, we're taking a break from the modules that I'm in. So, check us out in the future. I'm all over TPK, so you'll find me here often. And then let's go in reverse order. Let's go to Pati next. Pati, let everyone know who you are. And
I'm
stuff.
Pati. I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed being on this like all-Femme RPG one-shot with everyone. You were fun, and I'm so happy that I got to meet all of you, and thank you, Courtney, for inviting me and for doing such a great job. I am nowhere. You won't be able to find me after this. I'm in the wind.
Gotta find a yellow cabin in the woods.
But we blew that up.
It's a different one. It's one that's still around that doesn't have priceless artifacts in the basement, just spiders.
Okay.
The one we promised to rebuild. I'm there.
Excellent. Nikki, you are up next.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I am so bad at plugging things and telling what I'm doing. I am running a game that I'm having a lot of fun running. And I really like to play and come up with stuff randomly. I'm not going to say anything else because I'll just keep rambling.
All right, then we will switch over to Heck.
Okay, hey guys, it's me, Sir Heckalot. You know, you can find me on all the social medias at Sir Heckalot, Twitter, Twitch, all that stuff. Where you'll see me next. I'm usually here for one day of module week, but as we said, we're not on this week, so it's all good. I will actually have the first week break of non-TTRPG streams for like the first time in like over 6 weeks, something like that. I have nothing. I might go to the beach. We'll see. Yeah, until then, the next time you might see me is over in Neon Lights Roleplay, I think. Maybe. With our Seven Sons campaign, which is a D&D campaign, as well as In His Divine Name, which is an Only War campaign. So check them out. Check us out on or join our Discord if you haven't. It's a good time. But yeah, other than that, also stick around for the panel that I'm about to run in like half an hour.
30 minutes.
That's a great thing to plug. But anyway, that's all I got.
I have a break. Not immediately. All right, Michelle.
I have a minute. I'll make it quick. I'm Michelle. I don't have social media, so don't try to find me except maybe on Discord. I actually in the TPK Discord now and the Neon Lights Roleplay Discord. So woo! Next time you'll see me is possibly with you, Corndogg, in Neon Lights Overarms campaign. After that, like I'm also in Cyberpunk and Seven Suns with Sir Heck, and I will eventually be running, I guess, like a rotating one-shot Naruto campaign, and I think that's it. I think maybe. Yes.
Hell yeah, we're gonna make some anime
Yes.
through RPG.
All of it. All right.
Excellent. If you want to get more involved in our communities, like people were saying, check us out on the TPK Discord. Neon Lights Roleplay also has a Discord if you want to be able to find Michelle at some point in the future. Otherwise, just look for me on Twitter. If I can find them, I can gas them up when they're doing cool projects and stuff like that. So, unless they want their privacy, in which case I will respect that. But come hang out with us. Go take a break for a half hour. Let's let Heck get lunch. See you soon. See you at 2. Enjoy the rest of TPK Con.